The familiar morning bustle of the Stonehill Inn, number 11 on the map, fills the air, thick with the scent of roasting boar from the kitchens and the slightly sticky sweetness of spilled ale on the worn wooden tables. Sunlight streams through the dusty windows, illuminating the patrons breaking their fast. You, Sir Randall Gillian, sit with your retainers. Percival stands attentively nearby, Edda nurses a small ale while keeping a watchful eye, and Milo is practically bouncing in his seat, soaking in the atmosphere. A hush falls over the common room as a travelling bard, perched on a stool near the hearth, strums the final haunting chords of a ballad. Her voice, clear and resonant, lingers in the air. She's striking, with long silver hair braided with green ribbons, and she cradles a silver lute that seems to shimmer with a faint, verdant light. She smiles, a knowing, almost predatory curve of her lips, as she surveys the silent crowd. "I," she proclaims, her voice carrying easily through the inn. "A love story for the ages. For who among you can boast of winning the heart of a dragon?" She lets out a dramatic sigh. Few know the name Lyra Silvertongue now, but soon all shall know the mate of the mighty Venomfang. A ripple of murmurs goes through the crowd. The name Venomfang is known here, associated with the ruins nearby. Lyra continues, preening slightly. "Through magic mighty and ancient, I took the form of his kind, proved my worth, and now he dwells again in the ruins of Thundertree. And we are not alone. A clutch of eggs rests beneath the old tower, the first of a new dynasty. Soon, the Sword Coast shall be our hunting ground, our glorious horde." She strums a triumphant, slightly discordant chord on her greenish gleaming lute. Before the patrons can fully react to this audacious claim, a portly figure nearly trips over a stray dog in his haste to reach your table. Townmaster Harbin Wester, number 20 on the map, his face pale and beaded with sweat, wrings his hands frantically. "Sir Randall, protector of Phandalin," he gasps, his voice trembling. "Did you hear her? Did you hear that madness? Venomfang, back? And eggs? By Timora's luck, this is ruin. Utter ruin. First Cryovane, now this infestation. You must investigate, Sir Randall, for the good of the town, for the good of the entire region. Is it true? Are there truly more dragons nesting so close?" He looks utterly terrified, practically pleading. Percival straightens slightly, his expression one of polite disdain for the outburst but clear attention to the townmaster's words. Edda grunts, gripping her mug tighter. Milo's eyes are wide as saucers, torn between fear and the sheer excitement of the tale. "Okay, Sir Randall." You stand tall, your usual heroic confidence evident even amidst the morning bustle of the inn. You address the flustered townmaster, in Sir Randall's heroic voice. "Townmaster, is this not merely another bard spinning fanciful yarns for coin and ale? Though," you add thoughtfully, glancing towards the silver-haired performer, "sometimes even the wildest tales hold a kernel of truth." Percival nods stiffly beside you. "A prudent observation, Sir Randall. Hasty conclusions based on tavern songs are rarely wise, though the potential threat warrants caution." Edda grunts again, muttering, "Dragons? Always dragons. Still, best to know if she's talking true or just talking loud." Milo leans in conspiratorially, whispering, "She looks like she believes it, Sir Randall. All fiery and proud. But dragon eggs? Core," DM voice. "All right, Sir Randall, you focus your attention on Lyra Silvertongue, trying to discern the truth behind her dramatic pronouncements and confident smile. Please make a wisdom, insight, check," DM voice. "All right, Sir Randall, you rolled a 17 on your wisdom insight check." Narrative. You focus intently on the bard, Lyra Silvertongue. Her performance is certainly captivating, her confidence radiating. However, with your keen insight, you notice something off. It's not outright deception you detect, not the nervous tics of a common liar. Instead, there's an almost unsettling perfection to her presentation, a lack of genuine, raw emotion beneath the dramatic pronouncements. Her tale of draconic love and impending conquest feels rehearsed, perhaps even projected, rather than truly lived. While you can't be certain she's lying about the core facts, Venomfang Thundertree, the way she tells it strikes you as strangely hollow, like a performance delivered from afar rather than a heartfelt boast. Townmaster Wester, oblivious to your nuanced observation, continues to fidget. "Well? Is she lying? Please, Sir Randall, tell me she's just a fanciful fraud." In Sir Randall's heroic voice, "Trickery is afoot. Bard, I'll have none of it." With a surge of righteous indignation, you push back from your table, your chair scraping loudly on the wooden floor, in Sir Randall's heroic voice. "If you're declaring war on my new home, you're no friend of mine." You charge across the common room towards Lyra Silvertongue, intending to seize her before she can cause more trouble or spread more dangerous lies. Patrons scramble out of your way, mugs clattering. DM voice. You reach the bard in a couple of powerful strides and lunge forward to grab her arm. However, your hand passes straight through her form as if she were made of smoke. The silver lute continues to gleam, her image remains solid and smiling, but there's nothing substantial to grasp. The illusory Lyra throws her head back and laughs, a sound that echoes strangely in the inn, slightly too loud, slightly unreal. "Bold, aren't we, Sir Knight?" She sneers, her form flickering slightly. "But you'll find Venomfang and I are not so easily handled. If you have the courage, come seek us in Thundertree. We await, Protector." With a final, contemptuous smirk, the image of Lyra Silvertongue dissolves into shimmering motes of greenish light, leaving only the stunned silence of the inn patrons and the lingering scent of ozone in the air. Townmaster Wester lets out a small squeak. Percival raises a skeptical eyebrow, observing the magical residue. Edda spits. "Illusion. Coward's magic." Milo just stares, mouth agape, at the spot where the bard vanished. "An illusion?" Wester stammers, even more panicked than before. Then she is in Thundertree? With Venomfang? Oh, this is worse, Sir Randall. Much worse. A powerful spellcaster allied with a dragon. You must go. You must stop them before they... He trails off, looking faint again. In Sir Randall's heroic voice. "Good townspeople, you have welcomed me, and I shall return the favor. Tonight, we ride towards this threat." You look around the inn, your gaze settling back on the shaken townmaster. "Though I confess, I have not crossed paths with this Venomfang before. Tell me what you know of his past dealings here." Townmaster Harbin Wester nods vigorously, mopping his brow with a handkerchief. "Ah, Venomfang. Yes, terrible business. He settled in that old wizard's tower, #7 on the map, in the ruins of Thundertree some years back. A menacing green WYRM. Folks said he drove out anyone left in the ruins, consorted with unsavory types. Cultists, I heard." He shudders. "There were adventurers, brave souls, who went to Thundertree, seeking the druid Rydoth. Some say they confronted the beast, perhaps even drove him off. We'd hoped he was gone for good. Green dragons, they're cruel creatures, Sir Randall, delighting in misery, and their breath, pure poison." Percival steps forward, adjusting his tunic. "If I may supplement, Sir Randall, green dragons are known throughout Faerun for their cunning and deceit. They prefer to outwit their foes, employing misdirection and lies. Should trickery fail, their breath weapon is indeed a cloud of toxic gas. The ruins of Thundertree, overgrown and isolated, offer an ideal location for such a creature to establish a lair. The bard's tale of a mate and eggs is highly irregular, but consistent with the devious nature of green dragons. Perhaps a ploy of some kind." Milo adds, wide-eyed. "Poison breath that melts shields, they say. And he talks, tries to trick you into bargains or traps. Definitely not someone you want as a neighbor, especially if he's starting a family." Harbin nods frantically. "Just so. A menace. Please, Sir Randall, find out the truth of it. Phandalin owes you a great debt already. Don't let these monsters take root." Townmaster Wester blinks, his jaw slack at your immediate and heroic declaration. As you call for your horses, Edda nods sharply and heads for the door, presumably to the stables, number 10 on the map. But as you mention, your retainer, a bound pit fiend, a collective gasp sucks the air from the room. Harbin Wester turns a shade paler, his eyes wide with a new, deeper terror. A pit fiend? Here? In Phandalin? Gods preserve us. Before he can faint, Percival Dunn steps forward, placing a reassuring hand on the Townmaster's shoulder, though his gaze is firm. "Townmaster, Sir Randall speaks the truth. He has bound a creature of immense power to his will, a feat which, I remind you, he used to secure the safety of this very town. His request is not one of frivolity, but of logistics. Such power must be maintained, lest it become a threat rather than an asset. Sir Randall is merely asking Phandalin to provide the, shall we say, materials necessary for its continued protection." Milo Reedleaf hops onto a nearby stool, adding his own enthusiastic spin. "He's right, Master Wester. Imagine. That giant, scary as the Hells thing, answers to him. To our Sir Randall, if we can help him keep it, Phandalin won't just be safe from one dragon, will be safe from, well, just about everything. Edda, having paused at the door, turns and adds gruffly, "A knight needs his tools. That thing is a tool. A big, ugly, demon-forged tool, but a tool nonetheless. Get him what he needs to keep it under his thumb." DM voice. With your retainers bolstering your request, you make your appeal to the terrified but awestruck townsfolk. That's a 29 on your charisma, persuasion, check, narrative. Your heroic presence, combined with the logical and terrifying arguments of your retainers, completely sways the townmaster. Harbin Wester nods frantically, his fear momentarily replaced by a desperate resolve. Yes, of course, Sir Randall. Protector? Anything. A scroll? A wizard? We don't have such things here. Not just lying about. But I'll send word to Neverwinter. To Waterdeep. I'll post a reward. We'll pool every coin. A planar binding scroll, or a high-level caster. Consider it done, sir. Or at least, we shall exhaust every resource in the attempt. Just, please, go and deal with this other dragon first. Quickly. Edda gives a curt nod and disappears out the inn door to fetch the horses. Percival allows himself a small, satisfied smile. The townsfolk, hearing their townmaster's proclamation, murmur in agreement, their awe for you clearly overcoming their terror. With Edda having already gone to prepare the horses, and the townmaster in a desperate frenzy to secure your aid, your preparations are swift. As you stride toward the door, Percival Dunn gives a sharp, crisp nod. Understood, Sir Randall. Edda will ensure the horses are watered and ready for a rapid pace. As for the map, I have it securely in my pouch. I shall ride beside you and keep a precise chronology of this stage of your pilgrimage. He then turns a cold, stern gaze toward the colossal chained demon currently residing in the middle of the square. "And you," Percival addresses the Pit Fiend, his voice holding no tremor of fear, only the authority of a majordomo speaking to a very large, very ugly piece of property. "You heard the command of Sir Randall. Maintain an aerial position, watch for danger, and keep pace. Failure to follow these simple instructions will be noted and dealt with accordingly upon the spell's renewal." DM voice. Within minutes, you and your retainers are astride 2 hardy riding horses, Edda quickly procured, speed 60 feet for an hour, and the Pit Fiend, though visibly chafing against the magical constraint, is forced to unfold its massive wings. You point toward the wilderness trail leading away from Phandalin. Follow along, keep pace with your wings. Tell me if you spot anything from above as we approach. You command the Fiend. As you and your party begin your journey, the Pit Fiend rises high above the tree line, its keen senses immediately put to use as a scout. The journey to Thunder Tree is roughly 18 miles. Due to your fast pace, 4 miles per hour, you estimate reaching the edge of the ruins in about 4.5 hours. On the trail to Thunder Tree, pace, fast, 4 miles per hour. Time elapsed, 4 hours, 30 minutes. Distance covered, 18 miles. The Pit Fiend responds telepathically, its voice a grating infernal rasp inside your mind, audible only to you. Pit Fiend's telepathic report. "The land passes quickly, Master. The woods thicken ahead. There is nothing to report on the direct path. Only beast forms beneath the canopy, unaware and unconcerned with our presence. As you and your retainers ride the final stretch, the trees give way to dense thickets and old, winding footpaths. Before you, the shadowy, silent shapes of the ruins of Thunder Tree emerge, marked by shattered stone walls and dense, unnatural foliage. You have arrived at the edge of the ruins of Thunder Tree, #1 on the map. Would you like to have your Pit Fiend circle the perimeter or move to a specific location on the map? Or begin scouting on foot with your party?" Sir Randall dismounts, handing the reins to the nearest retainer. He locks eyes with the Pit Fiend overhead, then gestures down toward the dense woods. "The ruins are here. We scout ahead. You 3, you order your retainers, turning to them. Hang back with the horses, 60 feet from the ruins. Your job is simple. Keep yourselves alive and record my story. If the fighting spills out, move the horses back and hide out of sight. I trust in you all." Percival Dunn bows formally, his expression grim but respectful. "Understood, Sir Randall. We shall remain vigilant and ready to chronicle your deeds from a position of relative safety. We have our instructions." Edda Flintlock nods, already checking the horse's tack. "We'll keep the gear safe, come quick, or I'll come drag ye out of the poison cloud myself." Milo Reedleaf looks slightly relieved to be ordered to stay back. "Right, hiding. I'm an expert at hiding. I'll record every glorious clang, Sir Randall. Good luck." You turn to the bound pit fiend. Its demonic features a mask of constrained malice. You command the fiend telepathically, take a low aerial sweep over the immediate area, below the tree line if possible. Look for the tower, and any sign of a lair entrance. Report the moment you see anything unnatural. DM voice. As your retainers retreat with the horses, you turn your attention to the ruins before you, preparing to enter the gloom of the forgotten town. Please make a wisdom, perception, check to survey the immediate surroundings. DM voice. You rolled a 14 for your wisdom, perception check, 10 plus your +4 perception modifier. Narrative. You slowly and cautiously approach the edge of the ruins of Thundertree, your keen senses immediately taking in the atmosphere of the place. The first thing you notice is the overwhelming silence. This is not the quiet of a peaceful forest, but the dead stillness of a place avoided by the natural world. The forest floor is uneven, littered with tangled roots, crumbling stones, and patches of dense brush. You trace a faint, overgrown path winding into the shadows ahead, past the skeletal remains of what was once a large, intact stone building, Area U1 on the map. The air here is stale and earthy, carrying a subtle, unnatural mustiness, a sign that perhaps some form of life, foul or otherwise, has made a long-term home here. The pit fiend, already on its low aerial sweep, sends a telepathic image back to your mind. Pit fiend's telepathic report. "Master, the structures are thick here, many broken stone dwellings. The wind moves strange. I smell a great, fetid beast shape to the east, among the thicker trees, and something small, moving quickly below the ruins, near the western side. You have a clear but winding path forward into the ruins, Area U1. Would you like to investigate the foul beast shape to the east, the fast-moving small shapes to the west, or follow the path directly toward the center of the ruins?" You issue the final commands to the pit fiend, its powerful form momentarily overshadowed by the authority in your voice. "Devil, stay with me, we fight together, you will be my eyes for my back. My command to you is simple. If combat is initiated, you aid me to the best of your abilities in the fight." The fiend's yellow eyes narrow, and you feel a sharp, cold wave of assent in your mind. You quickly reach into your inventory and produce your handy haversack. You unlock the thick, non-magical chains currently restraining the demon's wrists and ankles. The pit fiend stretches its massive, scaled limbs in visible relief. As soon as the chains are secured inside the extra-dimensional space, the fiend is free to wield its full power. "We move to stone building U1, you state, nodding toward the shattered ruin visible through the thicket. The pit fiend glides silently down from its hover position and takes a place just behind and slightly above your left shoulder, its immense form intimidatingly close. It draws its enormous flaming great mace, and its eyes remain fixed on the path behind you, a terrifying and potent bodyguard. You step off the path, pushing through tangles of brush and debris toward the nearest structure, the crumbling outline of Area U1. DM voice. As you proceed cautiously on the overgrown path toward the ruined building, the pit fiend's sharp senses immediately scream a warning into your mind. Pit fiend's telepathic report. "Master, the little ones. They rise from the brush ahead, 3 shapes moving quickly and smelling of foul reptilian hide. You have entered the immediate vicinity of Area U1 and are ambushed. Combat initiated." From the dense patches of knee-high brush and old foundation stones ahead, 3 lizardfolk suddenly rise up. Their skin is mottled grey-green, and they wear crude wooden shields and carry javelins, hissing as they spot you. Enemies, 3X lizardfolk. Location. They are roughly 20 feet ahead, breaking cover near the entrance to the stone ruins, U1. Roll initiative. Would you like me to roll for Sir Randall's initiative, or will you provide the result? Initiative roll. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's initiative. He has a +5 dexterity modifier. Sir Randall's initiative roll, 18 D20 roll of 13 +5 modifier. Combatant. Initiative. Sir Randall Gillian, 18. Pit Fiend, 17. Lizardfolk, 10. The Pit Fiend has a dexterity modifier of +2, rolling a 15 for 17 total. The Lizardfolk have a dexterity modifier of +0, rolling a 10 for 10 total. Sir Randall acts first. Round 1. Sir Randall's turn. Initiative 18. You have the element of surprise, but the lizard folk already have their weapons ready and are breaking cover. You have 3 primary targets ahead of you, roughly 20 feet away. You are armed with your sunblade. What action will you take? You may move up to 40 feet, take your attack action, 3 attacks, or perhaps utilize the action surge feature to take an additional action. The lizard folk are within your range for a throw attack or spellcasting, but require movement to reach for a melee strike. An excellent plan for a swift, overwhelming assault. You immediately surge forward, covering the 20 feet to close the distance with the closest lizard folk. You draw the sunblade, which ignites with brilliant radiant light, banishing the shadows of the ruins as you prepare to strike. The lizard folk hiss, startled by your incredible speed. Round 1, Sir Randall's turn, Initiative 18. You take the attack action, granting you 3 attacks. Attack 1, Sunblade versus Lizard Folk 1. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 15, d20 roll of 3 plus 12 attack bonus. Lizard Folk AC, 15. Result, the Sunblade grazes off the crude wooden shield the Lizard Folk raises. Miss, you adjust your grip, ignoring the miss, and press the assault. Attack 2, Sunblade versus Lizard Folk 1. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 20, d20 roll of 8 plus 12 attack bonus. Lizard Folk AC 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 17 Radiant damage. d8 roll of 4 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 6. The brilliant blade carves through the lizard folk's side, and it slumps instantly, dissolving into a pool of darkness as your holy damage consumes its unnatural vitality. Lizard Folk 1 is slain. You use the momentum of the strike to pivot toward its nearest companion. Attack 3, Sunblade versus Lizard Folk 2. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 21, d20 roll of 9 plus 12 attack bonus. Lizard Folk AC 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 13 Radiant damage. d8 roll of 4 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 2. The second lizard folk is badly wounded, staggered by the unexpected radiant fire, but it remains standing, taking a total of 13 damage. Your turn ends. Round 1, Pit Fiend's turn, Initiative 17. The Pit Fiend has been commanded to aid you to the best of its abilities. Seeing your swift, devastating attacks, it acts immediately. It identifies the 2 remaining targets, the wounded Lizard Folk 2, currently engaged with you, and Lizard Folk 3, still 20 feet away, recovering from the shock of the ambush. The Pit Fiend makes its multi-attack, focusing its considerable power on securing your safety and removing the threats. Attack 1, Fiery Mace, melee, versus Lizard Folk 2. The Pit Fiend swings its massive, flaming mace over your head toward the wounded Lizard Folk. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 21, d20 roll of 7 plus 14 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 4d6 force plus 8 plus 6d6 fire equals 34 damage. 4d6 roll of 13 plus 8 plus 6d6 roll of 13. The mace connects with immense force and fire. The lizard folk's crude armor is instantly incinerated, and the creature is atomized by the demonic power. Lizard Folk 2 is slain. Attack 2, Fiery Mace, melee, versus Lizard Folk 3. The Pit Fiend uses its reach to lunge toward the last remaining Lizard Folk, which is frantically searching for an opening 10 feet away. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 25, d20 roll of 11 plus 14 attack bonus. Result, critical hit. Pit Fiend critical hits do not double the damage dice, but are automatically successful. Damage roll, 4d6, force, plus 8 plus 6d6 fire equals 41 damage. 4d6 roll of 19, plus 8 plus 6d6 roll of 14. The last lizard folk doesn't even have time to scream before it is crushed and vaporized in a torrent of abyssal force and hellfire. Lizard Folk 3 is slain. The short skirmish ends as swiftly as it began. Combat ends. Victory. The path to the ruins is clear, and the silent Pit Fiend immediately lowers its immense mace, turning its unblinking yellow gaze back toward the tangled ruins and the ruined stone building. You won, you were approaching. The small threats are ended, Master. The Fiend grinds telepathically. You, Sir Randall, are currently 20 feet inside the boundary of the ruins of Thundertree, standing over the vanished remains of your foes. What is your next command? Let us head towards the other creature that we noticed. You decide, keeping your voice low as you step past the swiftly cleared ground. You know the large, fetid beast shape, smelled by the Pit Fiend to the east, is the greater threat, and you prefer to confront the immediate danger head-on rather than scout the empty ruins. The Pit Fiend gives a low mental rasp of compliance, asterisk the large one. To the east, Master. Near the tower. You leave the immediate vicinity of the shattered building, U1, and move cautiously toward the area the Pit Fiend noted, pushing deeper into the ruins of Thundertree. DM voice. As you and the Pit Fiend navigate the choked paths toward the east, winding past decaying wooden structures and dense brush, the air grows heavier. Your senses tell you you're approaching something truly foul. You arrive just south of a circular, crumbling stone structure marked U7 on the map, the old wizard's tower that Harbin mentioned. Nestled in a copse of thick trees just southeast of this tower, you see a massive, dark shape moving slowly amidst the shadows. The air is undeniably rank here, reeking of decay and wet earth. As the creature shifts, the light filters through the trees, revealing the source of the terrible smell, a shambling mound. This large, grotesque heap of rotting vegetation, roots and decaying moss is a terrifying sight, its form shifting as it moves sluggishly toward the center of the trees. The shambling mound is currently preoccupied, perhaps sensing your arrival but not yet focusing its attack. The creature is roughly 40 feet away, lumbering towards you. Combat initiated. The initiative order from the previous skirmish still stands. You act first. Combatant. Initiative. Sir Randall Gillian. 18. Pit Fiend. 17. Shambling Mound. 10. Round 1. Sir Randall's turn. Initiative 18. The creature is 40 feet away, just barely within your movement range for a full melee attack. You are absolutely correct, Sir Randall. Initiative should be re-rolled at the start of every new encounter. My apologies for maintaining the previous order. Let's establish the new order for the engagement with the Shambling Mound. Re-rolling initiative. Combatant. Modifier. Roll. Sir Randall Gillian, +9. 1d20 +9. Pit Fiend, +14. 1d20 +14. Shambling Mound, +0. 1d20 +0. DM voice. Rolling now. Sir Randall's initiative, 1d20 +9. 25. D20 roll of 16 +9. Pit Fiend's initiative, 1d20 +14. 25. D20 roll of 11 +14. Shambling Mound's initiative, 1d20 +0. 10. D20 roll of 10 +0. New initiative order. We have a tie for first place. When a tie occurs, the players decide the order among their tied characters. Since the Pit Fiend is currently under your control via the Planar Binding spell, you get to decide if you or the Pit Fiend acts first. Combatant. Initiative. Sir Randall Gillian. 25. Pit Fiend. 25. Shambling Mound. 10. Round 1. Sir Randall's turn. Initiative 25. The monstrous, rotting shambling mound is 40 feet away, lumbering slowly amidst the shadows to the east. What is your choice for the tied initiative, and what is your first action, Sir Randall? DM voice. A wise precaution, Sir Randall. Green dragons and their allies are certainly known to employ toxins. You quickly retrieve a vial of antitoxin from your gear and down the liquid. Action. You consume the antitoxin. For the next hour, you gain advantage on saving throws against poison. Bonus action. In the name of the Moon Maiden, you use your War Priest feature from your Cleric level to cast the first level spell Shield of Faith. You utter a prayer and focus the divine magic. Since the spell requires concentration up to 10 minutes, you enter a state of deep focus. You touch yourself, and a shimmering field appears around you, granting you a +2 bonus to AC. New AC, your normal AC of 22, from heavy armor plus shield plus defense fighting style plus animated shield, increases to 24. Round 1. Pit Fiend's turn. Initiative 25. The Pit Fiend awaits your lead. Seeing your preparation, it focuses on the approaching shambling mound, 40 feet away. It knows the mound is immune to poison, so it uses its powerful fiery mace attack. The Pit Fiend has been commanded to aid you to the best of its abilities. The Pit Fiend closes the distance to 10 feet and launches its attack. It has 3 attacks in its multi-attack, and seeing the distance is 40 feet, it closes to 10 feet to attack. Attack 1. Fiery Mace vs. Shambling Mound, melee. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 20, d20 roll of 6 plus 14 attack bonus. Shambling Mound AC, 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 4d6 force, plus 8 plus 6d6 fire, equals 32 total damage, 4d6 roll of 15, plus 8 plus 6d6 roll of 9. The force and fire burn through the rotting foliage, scorching the mound. The Pit Fiend presses the attack. Attack 2. Fiery Mace vs. Shambling Mound, melee. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 29, d20 roll of 15 plus 14 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 4d6 force, plus 8 plus 6d6 fire, equals 37 total damage, 4d6 roll of 17, plus 8 plus 6d6 roll of 12. The massive elemental war club connects again, dealing immense damage to the mound. Attack 3. Fiery Mace vs. Shambling Mound, melee. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 23, d20 roll of 9 plus 14 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 4d6 force, plus 8 plus 6d6 fire, equals 39 total damage, 4d6 roll of 18, plus 8 plus 6d6 roll of 13. The combined assault of the Pit Fiend is devastating. The Shambling Mound has taken a total of 108 damage. Round 1. Shambling Mound's turn. Initiative 10. The Shambling Mound, HP 110, has been severely wounded by the Pit Fiend's triple attack. Its speed is a mere 30 feet, but it closes the distance to engage its immediate threat, the Pit Fiend, who is 10 feet away from it. It uses its multi-attack to try and entangle the towering demon. Attack 1. Charged Tendril vs. Pit Fiend. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 7 equals 10, d20 roll of 3 plus 7 attack bonus. Pit Fiend AC, 21. Result, miss. Attack 2. Charged Tendril vs. Pit Fiend. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 7 equals 14, d20 roll of 7 plus 7 attack bonus. Result, miss. The thick hide of the Pit Fiend and its natural AC ward off the rotting tendrils. The Shambling Mound, in a desperate move, uses its final option for the round. Engulf attempt. Bonus action. The Shambling Mound attempts to absorb the Pit Fiend into its mass. Strength saving throw, DC 15. The Pit Fiend is immune to the restrained condition that precedes the engulf. The Pit Fiend is too large to be engulfed. The attempt fails. The Shambling Mound's turn ends, severely injured and unable to restrain its target. End of round 1. The Shambling Mound is on its last legs, HP 2 110, but stands. You are standing next to the Pit Fiend, ready to strike. Round 2 begins. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Sir Randall looks upon the grievously wounded but still shambling form of the elemental creature. His voice rings with both the authority of a high-level warrior and the conviction of a divine servant. Devil, in your past life you served the god Bane, but now you are under the service of Saloon and I. Let the goddess's hand guide your mace to finish the fight. That's an order. Round 2, Pit Fiend's turn, Initiative 25. The Pit Fiend, towering over you, feels the renewed compulsion of your command. Though the order is simple and efficient, the reference to Saloon clearly irks the demon. It replies telepathically with a low, grudging snarl. As commanded, Master. The Fiend raises its massive fiery mace for one final, contemptuous strike against the heavily damaged foe. Attack 1. Fiery Mace vs. Shambling Mound. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 14 equals 32, d20 roll of 18 plus 14 attack bonus. Shambling Mound AC, 15. Result, critical hit. The massive mace, blazing with hellfire, connects squarely. Damage roll, critical hit. 4d6, force. Plus 4d6, force. Plus 8, plus 6d6, fire. Plus 6d6 fire, equals 83 total damage. 4d6 roll of 13. Plus 8, plus 6d6 roll of 17. Plus 6d6 roll of 14. The sheer force of the blow, combined with the explosive demonic fire, pulverizes the remaining mass of the elemental creature. The Shambling Mound is utterly destroyed, dissolving into ash and steaming water. The Pit Fiend lowers its weapon, the fire dimming slightly, and sends a single curt message, "Finished." Perception check. DM voice. Now that the immediate threat is neutralized, you focus your legendary senses on the area around the wizard's tower, U7. Please make a wisdom, perception, check. DM voice. You rolled a 16 for your wisdom, perception check, 12 plus 4 modifier. Narrative. Your eyes sweep the area while the lingering stench of ozone and scorched earth hangs in the air. The small skirmish has ended quickly, but the sudden energy expenditure draws attention. Your senses confirm the immediate vicinity is clear, but your gaze locks onto the abandoned wizard's tower, U7, just ahead. You notice 2 critical details. 1. Tower entrance, U7. The base of the ruined stone tower is surrounded by a natural entanglement of thick, thorn-choked vines and brush, creating a wall of difficult terrain around the structure. The actual entrance to the tower, though, appears to be a narrow opening at ground level on the tower's far side, facing west toward the middle of the ruins. 2. Unnatural foliage. The Pit Fiend's earlier comment about the thick woods is confirmed. The trees and shrubs immediately surrounding the tower are strangely dense and dark green, even for a ruin. As you scan the perimeter of the nearby buildings, you notice patches of unnaturally thick, dark foliage that look similar to the material of the now vanished shambling mound. The Pit Fiend directs your attention away from the tower, sending an urgent observation, Master, disturbance to the north. Fast, like the one from before, but faster and more numerous. They respond to the battle. You realize the lizardfolk skirmish has stirred up something else moving toward you from the northern end of the ruins. The area to the north is stirring. What is your next move, Sir Randall? We'll lose the advantage of speed, but they'll surely see us coming through this brush if we don't try for quiet first, you determine, nodding at the wisdom of the Pit Fiend's scouting report. Devil, to my back follow. You look around for the densest shadows and debris to move through. Let us both roll for stealth. You lower your stance, your radiant sunblade dimming slightly, focusing your mind and body on moving through the ruins unnoticed. Stealth check. DM voice. You attempt to move with legendary silence, and the Pit Fiend, despite its massive size, is magically compelled to emulate your movements. Combatant. Modifier. Roll. Sir Randall Gillian, +9. 1d20 +9. Pit Fiend, +2. 1d20 +2. DM voice. Rolling now. Sir Randall's stealth, 1d20 +9. 12, d20 roll of 3 +9 modifier. Pit Fiend's stealth, 1d20 +2. 7, d20 roll of 5 +2 modifier. Ambush failed. Narrative. You attempt to move like a shadow, your armor strangely silent against the brush, but the Pit Fiend's movement is clumsy despite the enchantment. Even attempting to follow your lead, the demon's heavy, scaled feet and shifting wings scrape against a pile of rubble and decaying wood, making a sound too loud for true stealth. The creature or creatures approaching from the north immediately spot the disturbance. Pit Fiend's telepathic report. Master, my silence fails. The enemy is alert and closing fast. Before you can fully adjust, 6 goblin warriors armed with scimitars and shortbows burst through the undergrowth just 30 feet to the north, screaming and pointing. They clearly see you and the massive demon accompanying you. Combat initiated. The moment for subtle approach is gone. Time to rely on steel and magic. Combatant. Modifier. Roll. Sir Randall Gillian, +9. 1d20 +9. Pit Fiend, +14. 1d20 +14. Goblin Warriors, +2. 1d20 +2. DM voice. Rolling initiative for the Goblin Warriors and re-rolling the tied initiatives. Sir Randall's initiative, 1d20 +9. 18. d20 roll of 9 +9 modifier. Pit Fiend's initiative, 1d20 +14, 28, d20 roll of 14 +14 modifier. Goblin Warrior's initiative, 1d20 +2, 10, d20 roll of 8 +2 modifier. New initiative order. Combatant. Initiative. Pit Fiend, 28. Sir Randall Gillian, 18. Goblin Warriors, 10. The Pit Fiend has the advantage and attacks first. Round 1. Pit Fiend's turn. Initiative 28. The Pit Fiend sees 6 small, screaming threats charging toward its master. It knows the goal is to clear the path quickly. It can choose to use its fiery mace in melee, which requires movement since the goblins are 30 feet away, its bite, which requires an enemy to be within 10 feet, or launch 3 hurl flame attacks from its ranged options to obliterate the approaching horde. The fiend chooses the most efficient method to suppress the enemy, raining hellfire upon the closest 3 targets using hurl flame. Attack 1, hurl flame, ranged, versus Goblin 1. Attack roll. 1d20 plus 10 equals 26, d20 roll of 16 plus 10 attack bonus. Goblin AC 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 6d6 fire equals 23 fire damage, 6d6 roll of 23. Result, Goblin 1 is instantly slain. Goblin HP is 7. Attack 2, hurl flame ranged, versus Goblin 2. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 12, d20 roll of 2 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, miss. Attack 3, hurl flame ranged, versus Goblin 3. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 25, d20 roll of 15 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 6d6 fire, equals 18 fire damage, 6d6 roll of 18. Result, Goblin 3 is instantly slain. The Pit Fiend's ranged attacks incinerate 2 goblins, leaving 4 remaining. Round 1, Sir Randall's turn, Initiative 18. You are 30 feet away from the remaining 4 goblin warriors, Goblin 2, 4, 5 and 6, who are advancing on the attack. You have 3 attacks available. What is your command, Sir Randall? Your battle cry rings out, fueled by divine conviction. The shimmering light of Shield of Faith protects you as you sprint 30 feet to meet the 4 remaining goblin warriors head-on. You dedicate one of your 3 available attacks to each of the first 3 goblins, aiming to cut them down as swiftly as the Pit Fiend cleared the last threat. Round 1, Sir Randall's turn, Initiative 18. You close the distance and engage the screaming goblin warriors with the brilliant Sunblade. Attack 1, Sunblade versus Goblin 2. Attack roll. 1d20 plus 12 equals 21, d20 roll of 9 plus 12 attack bonus. Goblin AC 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 13 Radiant damage, d8 roll of 4 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 2. Result, Goblin 2 is slain. Goblin HP is 7. Attack 2, Sunblade versus Goblin 4. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 15, d20 roll of 3 plus 12 attack bonus. Goblin AC 15. Result, hit. Barely striking past the crude armor. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 17 Radiant damage. d8 roll of 5 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 5. Result, Goblin 4 is slain. Attack 3, Sunblade versus Goblin 5. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 23, d20 roll of 11 plus 12 attack bonus. Goblin AC 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 15 Radiant damage, d8 roll of 4 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 4. Result, Goblin 5 is slain. You finish your assault, standing amongst the vanishing remains of 3 more foes, your gaze burning through the single remaining goblin warrior, Goblin 6. Your action ends. Round 1, Goblin Warrior's turn, Initiative 10. The last remaining goblin warrior, Goblin 6, is suddenly alone, surrounded by the terrifying Pit Fiend and a radiant paladin who effortlessly vaporized its comrades. It chooses its survival feature before taking any further action. Bonus action, Nimble Escape. The goblin takes the hide action, scrambling behind a large piece of ruined wall foundation, attempting to vanish from sight. Goblin stealth check, 1d20 plus 6 equals 11, d20 roll of 5 plus 6 modifier. The Pit Fiend, with its massive form, immediately detects the small creature's clumsy attempt. Pit Fiend passive perception, 2-0. The goblin fails its attempt to hide from the Pit Fiend. The goblin is spotted, but since its turn is spent scrambling into cover and hiding, it takes no further action. Its turn ends. End of round 1. The fight has been brutally swift. Only 1 terrified goblin remains, temporarily concealed behind rubble. Round 2 begins. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Finish the creature, and if you can't, my Sunblade will. Sir Randall commands the end of the combat. Round 2. Pit Fiend's turn, Initiative 28. The Pit Fiend sees the pathetic, hiding goblin. It finds this attempt at evasion beneath contempt. It unleashes a torrent of hellish fire. It moves around the rubble and targets the final goblin warrior with a hurl flame attack. Attack 1. Hurl flame, ranged versus goblin 6. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 23, d20 roll of 13 plus 10 attack bonus. Goblin AC, 15. Result, hit. Damage roll, 6d6 fire equals 21 fire damage, 6d6 roll of 21. Result, Goblin 6 is instantly slain. Goblin HP is 7. The last goblin warrior vanishes in a puff of smoke and ash, joining its comrades. The Pit Fiend snorts contemptuously and lowers its guard. Combat ends. Victory. The silence of the ruins returns, broken only by the crackle of residual heat from the Pit Fiend's attack and the soft hum of your sunblade. You stand victorious, having swiftly and decisively dealt with the ambush. Your divine enchantment, Shield of Faith, still shimmers around you, requiring your concentration. Pit Fiend's telepathic report, Master, the small threats are eliminated. The lair is directly ahead, * the Fiend reports, indicating the ruined tower, U7. You are now standing near the southern edge of the Wizard's Tower, U7. The narrow opening at ground level that leads inside is on the tower's western side. What is your next command, Sir Randall? The terrain over there looks difficult. You fly up 5 feet off the ground. Keep yourself clear of any difficult terrain, you command, gesturing toward the dense brush and ruins that form the boundary of the tower. The Pit Fiend immediately complies, its massive body rising silently to hover just above the broken stone and tangled roots, casting an unnerving shadow over the ground. Follow behind me. The dragon is sneaking around here somewhere. Into the tower we go. There's probably a trap, but no hero is a hero if a trap has me unprepared. You head toward the tower's far side, where the Pit Fiend had noted the entrance. Approaching the tower, U7, DM voice. You round the crumbling stone wall of the old tower. As expected, the terrain around the structure is difficult, choked with thick, dead vines and fallen masonry. However, thanks to the Pit Fiend's scouting, you see the entrance, a narrow, arching doorway facing west, half obscured by ivy. You immediately recognize the space just inside the doorway as a prime location for a pressure plate or tripwire. You pause just before the threshold, examining the doorway and the interior ground for any mechanism meant to impede your entry. What specific type of check do you make to detect traps? Intelligence, investigation. To deduce the presence of a trap based on structural anomalies or logical placement. Wisdom, perception. To spot visual anomalies like scuff marks, glinting wires, or disturbed dust. Which check will you make, Sir Randall? Devil assist me. Give me help to investigate for traps as we enter. You command, recognizing the necessity of divine or fiendish aid against unseen mechanisms. The Pit Fiend, towering and attentive, extends one massive 3-clawed hand toward the entrance. It speaks to you telepathically, *. My senses are keen, Master. I watch the stonework for shifts and listen for the whispers of arcane compulsion. Focus your mortal mind on the fine details. You decide to make an intelligence, investigation, check to deduce the presence of any structural traps, relying on the Pit Fiend's aid to grant you advantage. Trap investigation. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's investigation with advantage. Intelligence modifier of +1 plus proficiency bonus of +5 equals +6 total modifier for the check. Roll 1, d20 plus 6. 14, d20 roll of 8 plus 6 modifier. Roll 2, d20 plus 6. 22, d20 roll of 16 plus 6 modifier. You take the higher roll. Your intelligence investigation check result is 22. Narrative. You kneel before the entrance, your eyes scanning the mossy stones, relying on logic and careful observation. The Pit Fiend's dark presence beside you helps to focus your mind. You spend a tense moment examining the threshold, but you find nothing. The stones are worn and naturally cracked. The dirt floor is uniformly compacted. It seems structurally sound. However, as you reach out to touch the crumbling stone, the Pit Fiend lets out a low, telepathic snarl of caution. *, wait. Not of stone, but of air. The pattern is too perfect for mere dust. Small, almost invisible threads, Master, near the top of the arch and stretching to the floor. You look up, and thanks to the Fiend's warning, you spot it. A network of nearly invisible fine spider silk stretched across the doorway low to the floor. It's almost impossible to see, designed to be tripped by anyone moving quickly or carelessly. If triggered, it likely drops something or signals foes deeper inside the tower. You now know precisely where the invisible webbing is located. The entrance is trapped with a subtle web tripwire, Sir Randall. What is your next command? I see it. Good eyes. You acknowledge the Pit Fiend's sharp assistance. All right, these thieves' tools hidden away inside of the inner pocket of my armor will come in handy. I'm glad I sent my retainers during the adventure to the catacombs to retrieve them. You produce the delicate tools. A good knight would never break into a normal home, but even without being proficient, I will try to disarm this trap with the tools. Devil, assist me with help to disarm the trap with the tools. You set to work on the nearly invisible silken threads. This task requires a dexterity check using your proficiency, or lack thereof, with the thieves' tools. Although you lack tool proficiency, the Pit Fiend's focused attention and counsel grant you advantage on the check. The DC to disarm a mundane tripwire trap is generally considered DC 15. Disarming the trap, DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's dexterity check to disarm the trap with advantage. Dexterity modifier of +5. Roll 1, d20 plus 5. 22, d20 roll of 17 plus 5 modifier. Roll 2, d20 plus 5. 17, d20 roll of 12 plus 5 modifier. You take the higher roll. Your dexterity, thieves' tools, check result is 22. Narrative. Your fine motor control, honed by years of practice with the Sunblade, serves you well even without formal training in these tools. The Pit Fiend's silent guidance directs your hand to the critical anchor points. With a delicate twist of the metal pick, you snip the main tension lines. The entire silken network collapses harmlessly to the ground, severed and neutralized. The entrance is clear. The path is open, Master, the Pit Fiend confirms, its massive frame hovering low as you step across the threshold and into the ruined Wizard's Tower. You are now inside the ruined Wizard's Tower, Area U7. The tower's interior is a single, large chamber. The floor is strewn with rubble, and part of the curved wall has collapsed, creating a large hole that leads out into the open air above the ruins. A thick, sticky cloud of yellowish vapor hangs in the center of the room, obscuring the ceiling. The air is warm and moist here. You spot two humanoid figures standing in the gloom ahead, appearing to guard a central pile of rubble. They are covered head to toe in leather and protective masks. They haven't seen you enter yet. What is your next action, Sir Randall? Let us try to sneak up to the individuals. You command. You intend to take advantage of the gloom inside the ruined tower, U7, and their apparent distraction to gain the upper hand. The two humanoid figures are approximately 30 feet away, standing in the yellowish vapor that hangs in the center of the room. You lower your posture once more, focusing intently on moving silently among the rubble. Stealth check, DM voice. You attempt to move with silence and grace. The Pit Fiend silently follows your lead, attempting to conceal its massive frame behind you. Combatant. Modifier. Roll. Sir Randall Gillian, +9. 1d20 plus 9. Pit Fiend, +2. 1d20 plus 2. DM voice. Rolling now. Sir Randall's stealth, 1d20 plus 9. 18, d20 roll of 9 plus 9 modifier. Pit Fiend's stealth, 1d20 plus 2, 10 d20 roll of 8 plus 2 modifier. The passive perception of the figures ahead is needed to determine if you are successful. You don't know their stats yet. Narrative. You move with the silent proficiency of a high-level warrior, weaving around the broken stones. The thick, sticky cloud of yellow vapor helps to shroud the area, slightly obscuring your movements. The Pit Fiend manages to press itself close behind you, its colossal presence muted by its infernal discipline. You successfully close the distance to 15 feet from the two figures before you pause. The two individuals ahead are indeed humanoids, clad in thick, protective leather armor and wearing cloth masks pulled up high to cover their noses and mouths, likely a precaution against the noxious-looking gas swirling between them. They carry no visible weapons, and they seem intent on adjusting or guarding a pile of strange, mossy rubble in the center of the room. They clearly haven't noticed you yet. You are now in a prime position to attack or take further action. What is your command, Sir Randall? You are right to be cautious. The sight of two figures guarding a strange pile of rubble, without any visible arms, while surrounded by what you suspect is a cunning, powerful dragon and her ally, is highly irregular and demands scrutiny. Perception check, you whisper to yourself, focusing your senses on the two masked figures and their immediate surroundings. Spotting the deception, DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's wisdom, perception, check. You apply your impressive +8 perception modifier. Roll. 1d20 plus 8 equals 24, d20 roll of 16 plus 8 modifier. Narrative. Your awareness pierces the gloom of the gas and the shadows of the ruin. With a perception score of 24, you notice details that nearly anyone else would miss. 1. The gas cloud. The yellowish vapor surrounding the figures is not noxious at all. In fact, a faint scent of aloe and mint drifts toward you. The haze is entirely localized, hovering over the rubble pile and obscuring the ceiling above it. 2. The figures. You notice tiny bits of decaying plant matter flaking off the leather armor of the two humanoids, similar to the material of the now-vanished shambling mound. Their movements are stiff and jerky. They aren't guarding the pile, they seem to be slowly growing out of it, moving as if their limbs are just beginning to articulate. 3. The rubble pile. The rubble is not rubble at all. Your keen sight identifies it as a large, roughly 20-foot diameter sphere of decaying organic matter and moss, surrounded by the thick, unnatural foliage you noted outside. It pulses faintly with a sickly, vibrant green light emanating from deep within. Conclusion? These are not humanoids. They are two newly animated awakened trees, or similar very large plant creatures, currently taking a rough, bipedal form, likely animated to guard the central pile. They are not yet fully aware or armed, a trap being constructed, not laid. The presence of the localized, inert gas cloud and the strange organic pile suggests this is likely the dragon's main lair entrance, with the magical effects designed to obscure the operation from any aerial or casual view. You have the jump on them, Sir Randall? What is your command? Animated trees, I see them, you murmur, recognizing the threat. Devil, as I back to a safe corner in the tower, introduce them to that fireball you cast at me when you worked for Bane. That same magic that you used to hurt me in the past will now be used to hurt my enemies. Do it. You move 10 feet back, keeping a cautious eye on the plant creatures, finding a piece of collapsed masonry to use as a defensive corner. The Pit Fiend receives the command with dark satisfaction. It sees the nature of the foes, large, slow plant matter, and understands the efficiency of extreme fire damage. Its eyes blaze with raw infernal power as it casts the spell. DM voice. The Pit Fiend casts a 5th-level fireball spell at the large organic pile centered between the two forming awakened trees. Fireball attack, 5th level. The spell flares in the Fiend's hand, and a bright streak of flame erupts, instantly blossoming into an explosion in a 20-foot radius, encompassing the entire central pile and the two forming plant creatures. The Pit Fiend casts the spell at 5th level. This deals 9d6 fire damage. DC 16. Pit Fiend's spell save DC. Target, Awakened Tree 1. Saving throw, Dexterity, 1d20 plus minus 2, equals 14, d20 roll of 16 plus minus 2 modifier. Result, Failed save, DC 16. Damage roll, 9d6 fire, equals 34 fire damage, 9d6 roll of 34. Target, Awakened Tree 2. Saving throw, Dexterity, 1d20 plus minus 2, equals 1d20 roll of 3 plus minus 2 modifier. Result, Critically failed, save. Damage roll, 9d6, fire, equals 31 fire damage, 9d6 roll of 31. Target, Organic Pile/Lair feature. Result, the fire ignites the large organic pile. The explosion turns the center of the tower into an inferno. Wood, leaves, and organic matter flash combust in a roar of heat. The area smells intensely of burnt sugar and pine. Awakened Tree 1, HP 59, takes 34 fire damage, leaving it wounded. Awakened Tree 2, HP 59, takes 31 fire damage, leaving it wounded. The plant creatures shriek silently as fire consumes their edges. They detach fully from the ruined stone and rubble pile and begin moving. Round 1, Awakened Tree's turn. Initiative 10. The fire damage triggers their movement. They are large plant creatures and highly vulnerable to fire. The priority of the awakened trees is to extinguish the flames and strike the nearest threat. They lumber toward the Pit Fiend, 10 feet away. Awakened Tree 1. Slam attack versus Pit Fiend. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 6 equals 20, d20 roll of 14 plus 6, attack bonus. Pit Fiend AC, 21. Result, miss. Awakened Tree 2, Slam Attack vs Pit Fiend. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 6 equals 16, d20 roll of 10 plus 6 attack bonus. Result, miss. The thick stone hide and infernal protection of the Pit Fiend shrug off the clumsy attacks of the burning plant creatures. End of round 1. The path to the heart of the lair is now illuminated by burning plant matter. Both awakened trees are severely wounded and enraged. You have your Shield of Faith concentration, AC 24, and are positioned defensively in the corner. Round 2 begins. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Ha! I got them now? Time for the vicious, though 3 attacks that you trees, you exclaim, preparing to unleash your full martial fury upon the 2 burning plant creatures. Round 2, Sir Randall's turn, initiative 18. You lunge out from your defensive corner, the radiant light of your sunblade ready to finish what the Pit Fiend's hellfire started. You have 3 attacks against the 2 remaining awakened trees, both severely wounded. Attack 1, Sunblade vs Awakened Tree 1. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 29, d20 roll of 17 plus 12 attack bonus. Awakened Tree AC 13. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7, Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 16 radiant damage, d8 roll of 7 plus d8 roll of 2. Result, the radiant energy sears the center of the first massive tree form. Awakened Tree 1 is slain. Attack 2, Sunblade vs Awakened Tree 2. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 23, d20 roll of 11 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 Sunblade plus 7 Radiant plus 1d8 Radiant equals 14 radiant damage, d8 roll of 3 plus 7 plus d8 roll of 4. Result, the second tree form bursts into a flash of green ash and flame. Awakened Tree 2 is slain. Attack 3, Sunblade, unused. Your final attack is unnecessary, as the last target has been eliminated. The fight is over in a flurry of radiant steel. Combat ends. Victory. The silence returns to the large tower chamber, now permeated with the smell of smoke and the sickly sweet odor of burnt plant matter. The yellowish vapor cloud has dissipated entirely, and the central pile of organic matter has been reduced to smoldering inert debris. The chamber is open, allowing you to see the ceiling of the ruin clearly. The Pit Fiend lowers its mace and transmits a single, impatient thought. Master, the path is cleared. The tower is empty, save for the air. You are standing in the ruined Wizard's Tower, U7. There are no further threats in this chamber. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Yes, I understand the item description for the Sunblade. Key details noted. It functions as a longsword hilt until a Blade of Radiance is summoned as a bonus action. It has the Finesse property and grants a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls. It deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. The extra 1d8 radiant damage only applies when you hit a creature of the undead type. The blade emits sunlight. I will ensure future combat calculations reflect the correct damage types and the specific condition for the extra radiant damage. What is your next command, Sir Randall? I wonder what they were guarding. Let us investigate, you muse, approaching the now smouldering pile of organic debris in the center of the tower. You carefully prod the ruined pile of moss and burned roots with the tip of your sunblade. Investigation check. DM voice. Since you are examining a specific area and deducing the purpose of the strange objects, please make an intelligence investigation check. You apply your +6 investigation modifier. Roll. 1d20 plus 6 equals 23. d20 roll of 17 plus 6 modifier. Narrative. Your investigation is thorough and highly successful. Shifting the remnants of the burnt pile, you quickly uncover 2 significant features of the lair that the awakened trees were likely protecting. 1. A vertical shaft, concealed beneath the organic matter, is a vertical shaft roughly 10 feet in diameter, extending downward deep into the earth. It is clearly carved stone, and appears to be far deeper than the old Wizard's Tower above ground. A strong, humid breeze wafts up from the darkness below. You quickly realize this shaft is the true entrance to a subterranean lair. 2. Dragon scale shards. Embedded in the stone lip around the shaft, you find several large, thin and brittle shards of molted dragon scale. They are iridescent green, suggesting they were recently shed. They are too small to be valuable as treasure, but they confirm the presence of the powerful green dragon, Venomfang, deeper within the earth. The center of the ruined tower hides a direct route into the depths of the dragon's lair. The path is open, Sir Randall. What is your next command? Onwards we go cautiously. Stealth with me will make our way deeper, you command, stepping toward the exposed vertical shaft. The radiant blade of your sunblade casts light down into the darkness, revealing nothing but a smooth, dizzying drop. You focus your mind, preparing to descend. Stealth check, DM voice. You lead the descent into the vertical shaft, carefully seeking foot and handholds in the stone. The Pit Fiend, its wings folded tight, minimizes its friction against the shaft walls, its massive form following silently behind you. Combatant. Modifier. Roll. Sir Randall Gillian, +9. 1d20 +9. Pit Fiend, +2. 1d20 +2. DM voice. Rolling now. Sir Randall Stealth, 1d20 +9, 16, d20 roll of 7 +9 modifier. Pit Fiend's Stealth, 1d20 +2, 11, d20 roll of 9 +2 modifier. Narrative. The descent is long and silent, lasting several minutes. You move with immense caution, relying on your keen senses and the Pit Fiend's effortless mobility. After dropping what feels like 50 feet, the shaft opens into a vast subterranean cavern. The space is cold, damp, and dimly lit by flickering plumes of green light filtering up from below. The humid breeze you felt earlier is now a constant, strange draft circulating through the space. Your sunblade illuminates a narrow, twisting passage ahead of you. The air here carries a very distinct scent: ozone, sulfur, and a sharp, minty odor, the latter matching the smell you noted earlier in the tower. You successfully maintain your silent approach, having made no noise during the descent. The passage ahead is currently silent. The Pit Fiend telepathically directs your attention to a dark stain on the cavern floor just at the base of the shaft. Master, poison residue. Old and burned, but present. We proceed through the choke point ahead. You are now at the entrance of a winding subterranean passage that leads deeper into Venomfang's lair. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Hold on a brief moment. Let me focus and figure out how long I have left on my Shield of Faith spell. You close your eyes, focusing on the shimmering outline of divine energy surrounding you. It normally lasts 10 minutes, and I need to figure out how long has passed. I will use my Arcana skill check to figure this out. You attempt to sense the remaining duration of the divine enchantment, which requires you to quantify the magical energy supporting the spell. Arcana check. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's intelligence. Arcana check. You apply your +6 Arcana modifier. Roll 1d20 +6 equals 26. d20 roll of 20 +6 modifier. Narrative. Your understanding of the mystical weave is absolute. You successfully pierce the surface of the Shield of Faith enchantment and determine precisely how much time has passed since your spellcasting. Time elapsed. Approximately 6 minutes have passed since you cast Shield of Faith at the start of the engagement with the shambling mound. Remaining duration. You have roughly 4 minutes of concentration remaining on the Shield of Faith spell. The concentration is firm, the magical defense is strong, but the clock is ticking down on your temporary boost to AC 24. What is your next command, Sir Randall? Let's head deeper. Investigate for traps with me along the way. Quote, you order, immediately moving into the winding passage. You are acutely aware that time is short with Shield of Faith, and that the lair must be defended more fiercely the deeper you go. Tell me if you hear anything with your passive perception that we can use, Devil. You take the lead, focusing your formidable perception on the uneven stone floor and damp walls of the narrow tunnel. The Pit Fiend follows, its massive body barely fitting, listening intently. Investigation and passive perception. DM voice. You proceed slowly and deliberately through the twisting passage. You are actively searching the path, gaining advantage from the Pit Fiend's help action. Combatant. Check. Modifier. Result. Sir Randall Gillian. Investigation. Advantage. +6. 23. D20. Rolls 11, 17. Pit Fiend. Passive perception. +14. 24. Narrative. You successfully navigate the narrow passage. The floor is slick with water, and the twisting turns block line of sight to more than a few feet ahead. Despite the difficulty, your combined focus yields a safe path. Traps. Your investigation check of 23 confirms the immediate passage is clear of physical mechanisms or magical wards. The green dragon likely relies on creatures and environment rather than crude traps. Sound. The Pit Fiend's hyper-alert passive perception of 24 catches something distant over the sound of the dripping water and the gentle hush of the humid air. The Fiend sends an immediate, urgent message, *Master, distant sound ahead. To the north, down the passage, not a creature, but a clattering, rhythmic sound, metallic. Something mechanical and heavy, moving intermittently, a mechanism or a very large, crude beast. The winding tunnel opens into a slightly wider section. Ahead, a passage branches sharply to the north, where the Pit Fiend heard the metallic sounds. Directly east, the passage continues, leading into deeper darkness. The lair continues to the east, but a strange mechanical sound echoes from the north. What is your command, Sir Randall? Come with me, let's go check out the sound. You decide, stepping toward the northern passage. I would not want anything to loop back around on us. Best to be sure. The Pit Fiend glides close behind you, turning its massive head toward the northern gloom. As you command, Master. Let us silence the noise. You leave the main path and follow the northern branch of the subterranean tunnel, moving toward the intermittent clattering, rhythmic sound. Investigating the mechanism, the passage narrows quickly, becoming a tight squeeze even for you. The rhythmic clanking becomes louder and more consistent as you continue, echoing off the damp stone. After moving about 30 feet, the passage opens into a small, vertical cave chamber. The rhythmic clatter intensifies, emanating from a figure in the middle of the room. The chamber is occupied by a grotesque, hulking creature, a minotaur skeleton. It carries no armor, its bones are stained dark, and in its hands it holds a massive, splintered maul. It is not attacking, but swinging the maul against a natural stone pillar every few seconds in a rhythmic, mechanical pattern, the source of the noise. It hasn't noticed you yet, as its attention is entirely focused on its destructive, rhythmic labor. You have the jump on this creature. What is your command, Sir Randall? This place has certainly eroded your trust in simple appearances, Sir Randall. An illusion meant to lure you, a grotesque creature formed of plant matter, and now a minotaur skeleton performing rhythmic demolition in a cave. It could be an illusion like the bard I met earlier today, you conclude, the memory of the spectral image still fresh. I'm not sure what to trust in this place, so we'll do it the simple way. You swiftly trade the radiant sunblade for your vicious longbow. Drawing 3 arrows, you line up your shots on the unsuspecting skeleton. Vicious longbow in hand. I take out 3 arrows and shoot at the creature. Let us get into combat if it is real. Combat initiated. The rhythmic clank smash of the skeleton's maul abruptly stops as 3 arrows fly toward its center mass. Since the minotaur skeleton is unaware of your presence, your attacks are made with advantage. The initiative order from the previous encounter is used, with Pit Fiend, 28, and Sir Randall, 18, retaining their positions. The minotaur skeleton has a +0 dexterity modifier, giving it initiative 10. Combatant. Initiative. Pit Fiend, 28. Sir Randall Gillian, 18. Minotaur skeleton, 10. The Pit Fiend will defer its action to observe the outcome of your surprise attack. Round 1. Sir Randall's turn. Initiative 18. You take the attack action, firing 3 shots from your vicious longbow at the target, gaining advantage on each attack. Attack 1. Vicious longbow versus minotaur skeleton. Advantage. Attack roll 1 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 15. D20 roll of 3 plus 12 attack bonus. Attack roll 2 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 27. D20 roll of 15 plus 12 attack bonus. Result. Hit. Taking the higher roll of 27. Damage roll 1d8 piercing plus 5. Damage modifier equals 13 piercing damage. D8 roll of 8 plus 5. Attack 2. Vicious longbow versus minotaur skeleton. Advantage. Attack roll 1 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 16, d20 roll of 4 plus 12 attack bonus. Attack roll 2 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 18, d20 roll of 6 plus 12 attack bonus. Result. Hit, taking the higher roll of 18. Damage roll 1d8 piercing plus 5, damage modifier equals 11 piercing damage, d8 roll of 6 plus 5. Attack 3. Vicious longbow versus minotaur skeleton. Advantage. Attack roll 1 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 28. D20 roll of 16 plus 12 attack bonus. Attack roll 2 to 1d20 plus 12 equals 19. D20 roll of 7 plus 12 attack bonus. Result. Critical hit. Taking the roll of 28, which is an automatic hit. Damage roll, critical hit, 2d8, piercing plus 5, damage modifier, equals 15 piercing damage. 2d8 rolls of 7, 3 plus 5. The barrage of 3 arrows strikes the skeleton squarely, tearing through its rib cage and brittle bones with lethal precision. The Minotaur skeleton, HP 45, takes a total of 39 piercing damage. The creature is shattered. The force of the arrows, combined with the weight of the maul it was holding, causes the skeletal form to collapse into a pile of lifeless bones and splintered wood. It offers no resistance and makes no sound other than the sudden crash of its defeat. The Minotaur skeleton is instantly slain. Combat ends. Victory. The small side cavern is now silent again, the rhythmic clank smash replaced by the stillness of death. Pit Fiend's telepathic report. Threat neutralized, Master. It was crude, but real. Asterisk the Fiend reports. We proceed east, towards the lair. You stand in the small cave chamber, victorious. What is your next command? Interesting. My bow is not working the way I expect it to here. You observe, examining your vicious longbow and the remaining arrows. Maybe some wild magic? Let me look at the instruction and see what it says it's supposed to do. You review the magical description of your weapon. Vicious longbow. This magic weapon deals an extra 2d6 damage to any creature it hits. This extra damage is of the same type as the weapon's normal damage. DM voice. You realize that, in the heat of your decisive attacks against the Minotaur skeleton, I forgot to include the extra 2d6 piercing damage that your vicious longbow grants on a successful hit. Let's quickly retroactively apply that missing damage. The Minotaur skeleton was already destroyed, but this damage is vital for assessing your capabilities and determining if you recovered any arrows. Damage correction, round 1. The Minotaur skeleton had 45 HP and took 39 damage in the first round. Attack, base damage, 1d8 plus 5. Vicious damage, 2d6. Total damage. New total HP lost. Attack 1, hit. 13. 2d6 equals 11. 24. 39 plus 11 equals 50. Attack 2, hit. 11. 2d6 equals 9. 20. 50 plus 9 equals 59. Attack 3, crit. 15. 2d8 plus 5. 4d6 equals 18. 3. 59 plus 18 equals 77. The total damage dealt to the Minotaur skeleton was 77 piercing damage. It was certainly dead. We proceed, Master? The Pit Fiend prompts telepathically, its eyes fixed on the darkness of the subterranean tunnel ahead. You are currently in the small cave chamber. The Minotaur skeleton's bones are scattered, and the only path forward is the winding tunnel leading east. What is your next command? Let's go see what the creature was doing here, you decide. Stepping over the scattered bones and splintered remains of the Minotaur skeleton, you turn your attention to the stone pillar that the skeleton was rhythmically battering with its maul. Investigating the pillar, DM voice. You examine the stone column, finding a rough circle of freshly chipped stone around its base. It's clear the Minotaur skeleton successfully eroded a large section of the pillar, leaving it compromised. However, your sharp gaze spots a subtle, almost invisible seam running vertically up the pillar, hidden beneath the shattered stone and dust. This is clearly a secret door, disguised to appear as part of the cavern wall. The skeleton wasn't destroying the column, it was deliberately striking a weak point to force the hidden mechanism open. The passage to the east is the most logical route deeper into the lair, but this secret door clearly leads somewhere else. It is not open yet, requiring some effort to bypass the mechanism or complete the skeleton's destructive work. What is your command, Sir Randall? Let's just investigate to find how to open it. Help me, you devil, you command, turning your attention from the path ahead, back to the subtle seam running up the damaged stone column. You are seeking the mechanism or switch that will grant you entry. You approach the pillar, preparing to use both your intellect and the Pit Fiend's uncanny senses to locate the opening device. You rely on the demon's compelled service to grant you advantage on the check. Investigation check, pillar mechanism. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's intelligence. Investigation, check with advantage. You apply your +6 investigation modifier. Roll 1, d20 plus 6. 14, d20 roll of 8 plus 6 modifier. Roll 2, d20 plus 6. 24, D20 roll of 18 plus 6 modifier. You take the higher roll. Your intelligence investigation check result is 24. Narrative. Your focused analysis coupled with the fiend's demonic patience is flawless. You quickly realize the Minotaur skeleton was not merely hitting a weak spot, but was trying to expose a very specific feature. Running your hand over the seam, you find what feels like a small, concealed button just beneath a patch of loose moss, carved to look like a small piece of decorative foliage. The constant, rhythmic shock of the maul was intended to vibrate the button free, allowing for simple pressing. You press the button firmly. With a low, grinding sound, the entire section of the pillar, encompassing the seam you spotted, slides inward with a deep, resonant thunk. It reveals a narrow, dark and winding tunnel descending into utter darkness. The Pit Fiend sends a cautious thought, asterisk. The other path is open, Master. Choose wisely. You have the choice of 1. The Eastern Tunnel, the winding subterranean passage that was your original route, leading deeper into the main lair. 2. The Pillar Tunnel, new. This dark, winding tunnel opened by the secret door, leading to an unknown secondary location. What is your command, Sir Randall? You grip the Sunblade firmly and invoke its innate command word. Be gone, darkness. Action, Sunblade. You expand the radius of your Sunblade's light. The luminous blade now emits bright light in a 30-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 30 feet. The newly revealed tunnel is immediately filled with brilliant, purified light, sunlight specifically, pushing back the shadows of the secondary passage. Devil with me, we move onwards. Let us see where this path heads. You command, stepping into the newly illuminated descending tunnel. The Pit Fiend follows, its massive shadow briefly eclipsing the entrance before it is swallowed by the light of the Sunblade. The tunnel winds steeply downward, smelling sharply of sulfur and old, cold stone. Inside the secret passage, DM voice, you descend carefully for about 40 feet. The tunnel dead ends abruptly into a large, cold, circular cavern. The air is still, and a subtle, oppressive cold settles over the stone, a contrast to the warm, humid air of the upper chamber. The space is roughly 50 feet in diameter. In the center of the cavern, perched atop a large, uneven mound of gold and assorted treasures, sits a creature of breathtaking, malevolent beauty, a young green dragon. Its green scales catch the light from your blade, reflecting a dangerous intelligence in its eyes. Curled around the base of the mound is a tall, silver-haired female whose elegant attire and gleaming silver lute confirm her identity as Lyra Silvertongue, the bard from the illusion. She is now revealed to be a powerful archmage, not a mere illusion. Lyra is smiling. The dragon is watching you with a predatory gleam, slowly uncoiling its length from the hoard. Well done, Sir Randall, Lyra's voice rings out, completely different from the projected sound. It is rich, deep, and dangerous. You are more capable than the last batch of heroes my love attracted, and what a magnificent bodyguard you bring. A Pit Fiend. You certainly bring a suitable challenge to our nest. Lyra subtly gestures to a series of carved blocks set into the cavern walls, now visible in your bright light. You instantly recognize them as 4 large glyphs of warding. Final confrontation. The battle you came for is at hand. Allies, Sir Randall, Pit Fiend. Enemies, young green dragon, Venomfang, Archmage, Lyra. Hazards, 4 glyphs of warding set into the walls. Roll initiative. Sir Randall Gillian, +9 initiative. Pit Fiend, +1/4 initiative. Young green dragon, Venomfang, +1 initiative. Archmage, Lyra, +2 initiative. DM voice. Re-rolling for the final confrontation. Sir Randall's initiative, 1d20 +9, 18, d20 roll of 9 +9 modifier. Pit Fiend's initiative, 1d20 +14, 25, d20 roll of 11 +14 modifier. Young green dragon's initiative, 1d20 +1, 12, d20 roll of 11 +1 modifier. Archmage's initiative, 1d20 +2, 10, d20 roll of 8 +2 modifier. Final initiative order. Combatant. Initiative. Pit Fiend, 25. Sir Randall Gillian, 18. Young green dragon, Venomfang, 12. Archmage, Lyra, 10. The Pit Fiend acts first. Round 1. Pit Fiend's turn. Initiative 25. The Pit Fiend instantly assesses the enemy. The most threatening target is the Archmage. as casters can control the battlefield. However, Venomfang is the largest target, and the Pit Fiend may prioritize eliminating the dragon quickly. Lyra is approximately 50 feet away, near the center of the room. Venomfang is also 50 feet away, coiled on the horde. The Pit Fiend has 3 fiery mace attacks available in its multi-attack, but cannot reach the enemies in melee. It uses its ranged attack option, Hurl Flame. The Fiend chooses to focus on the young green dragon to weaken the primary threat first. Attack 1. Hurl Flame, ranged, versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 22, d20 roll of 12 plus 10 attack bonus. Venomfang AC, 18. Result, hit. Damage roll, 6d6 fire equals 23 fire damage, 6d6 roll of 23. Attack 2, Hurl Flame ranged versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 16, d20 roll of 6 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, miss. Attack 3, Hurl Flame ranged versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 15, d20 roll of 5 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, miss. The young green dragon is struck, its scales briefly smoking under the infernal heat. Venomfang, HP 136, takes 23 fire damage. Round 1, Sir Randall's turn, Initiative 18. You stand at the edge of the cavern, facing 2 highly dangerous opponents, a dragon and an Archmage, both roughly 50 feet away. Your Shield of Faith is active, AC 24, and you are holding your Sunblade. You have 3 attacks, though melee is out of range, and access to spells. What is your command, Sir Randall? You immediately dispel the defensive magic. I won't need the Shield of Faith in this, you state, the shimmering barrier around you dissolving as you release your concentration. You then invoke a powerful blessing. Bonus action, you cast the first level spell Divine Favor. Radiant energy courses through you, preparing to augment your strikes. For the next minute, requiring concentration, your weapon attacks will deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit. You turn your voice toward the dragon and the Archmage, intending to crush their morale with a powerful verbal attack. Action, you cast Thaumaturgy. Your voice booms up to 3 times its normal volume, echoing off the stone walls of the cavern, filled with disappointment and scorn. I was expecting a dragon of legendary difficulty, but you are just a young worm. I hope you have more than this to show for yourself. The dragon and Lyra visibly flinch under the sonic assault of your voice, momentarily stunned by your volume and contempt. Devil, you stand at the entrance we came in and you take a dodge action. You command the Pit Fiend telepathically. The Pit Fiend immediately flies 10 feet back and positions its massive body to block the narrow vertical shaft, maximizing the protection it can offer its master against any further ambushes. The dodge action means that until the start of its next turn, any attack roll made against it has disadvantage if the attacker can see it, and it makes dexterity saving throws with advantage. Round 1. Young Green Dragon's turn, Initiative 12. The young green dragon, Venomfang, HP 113-136, bristles at your insult and the sting of the Pit Fiend's fire. It decides to use its signature, Deadly Attack. Action, Venomfang exhales Poison Breath. The dragon exhales a cloud of poisonous gas in a 30-foot cone. You and Lyra are within the area of effect. Constitution saving throw DC, 14. Venomfang's breath damage, 12d6 poison damage. Target, Sir Randall Gillian, your save. Save modifier, you have a +9 Constitution modifier. You also have advantage against poison saving throws from the antitoxin. Roll 1 to 1d20 plus 9 equals 17, d20 roll of 8 plus 9 modifier. Roll 2 to 1d20 plus 9 equals 28, d20 roll of 19 plus 9 modifier. Result, success, taking the 28 roll. You take half damage. Damage roll, 12d6 poison damage equals 39 damage. You take 19 poison damage, half damage. Target, Archmage Lyra, enemy save. Save modifier, Lyra has a +0 Constitution modifier. Roll, 1d20 plus 0 equals 9, d20 roll of 9 plus 0 modifier. Result, failed save. Lyra takes full damage. Damage roll, 12d6 poison damage equals 39 damage. The poisonous gas fills the cavern, and while you cough and stagger, the worst of the poison rolls past you. Lyra, however, suffers the full brunt of the dragon's errant attack. Lyra HP 4382. Round 1. Archmage Lyra's turn, Initiative 10. Lyra, HP 4382, is wounded and just took full damage from her own ally's attack. She screams in fury at the dragon, but quickly gains her composure, recognizing the threat you pose. She needs distance and control. Action, Spellcasting. Lyra channels arcane power, targeting you with a potent offensive spell to punish your scorn. She casts Fireball, a 3rd level spell, cast at 5th level, which deals 8d6 fire damage plus 2d6 from the higher level slot equals 10d6 fire damage. Target, you. Fireball attack, 5th level, versus Sir Randall. Dexterity saving throw DC 15. Your save modifier. You have a +5 dexterity modifier. Roll 1d20 plus 5 equals 17. d20 roll of 12 plus 5 modifier. Result, success. You take half damage. Damage roll, 10d6 fire damage equals 32 damage. You take 16 fire damage, half damage. You are struck by the magical fire, taking a total of 35 damage this round. 19 poison plus 16 fire. Movement. Lyra uses her movement to scramble behind the massive dragon horde, 50 feet away, putting Venomfang between herself and the entrance. End of round 1. You have taken damage, but successfully weathered the dual assault. Lyra is wounded, and Venomfang is scorched. Your Pit Fiend is protected, and you are ready to unleash 3 attacks. Round 2 begins. What is your next command, Sir Randall? The fire stings you, Sir Randall, but your focus remains absolute. You immediately call upon your discipline to maintain your divine augmentation. Constitution save to make sure that I'm still concentrating on my spell of divine favor, per the rules of 5e, on concentration for spells. The DC to maintain concentration is 10 or half the damage taken, whichever is higher. You took 35 damage this round, so the DC is 18, rounding down half of 35. Constitution save DC, 18. Your save modifier, you apply your +9 Constitution modifier. Roll 1d20 plus 9 equals 25, d20 roll of 16 plus 9 modifier. Result, success. Your concentration on divine favor holds firm. Round 2, Sir Randall's turn, Initiative 18. Your concentration is secure, and you proceed with your assault. Bonus action, you activate your animated shield. The shield leaps from your arm, hovering in your space and adding its +2 AC bonus to your defense, leaving your hands free for the bow. New AC, your base AC of 22 increases to 24, 18 plate, +2, shield +1, defense +3, dex, equals 24 total AC. The animated shield bonus is already accounted for, as the shield AC is incorporated in your total AC of 22 before the animated shield applies the +2 bonus. Action, you take the attack action, drawing 3 arrows and targeting the young green dragon, Venomfang, with your vicious longbow. The dragon is 50 feet away, and Lyra is hiding behind the horde. All attacks are within normal range. Attack 1, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 20, d20 roll of 8 plus 12 attack bonus. Venomfang AC 18. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing plus 5, dex mod, plus 2d6, vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 18 piercing, radiant damage. d8 roll of 4 plus 5, plus 2d6 roll of 7 plus d4 roll of 2. Note, damage is piercing from the bow and radiant from divine favor. Attack 2, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 27, d20 roll of 15 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing plus 5, dex mod, plus 2d6, vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 19 piercing, radiant damage. d8 roll of 4, plus 5 plus 2d6 roll of 8, plus d4 roll of 2. Attack 3, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 15, d20 roll of 3 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, miss. You send 2 piercing radiant shots into the dragon. Venomfang, HP 113-136, takes an additional 37 damage, 18 plus 19. Movement. You then move your full speed, 40 feet. You move around the perimeter of the cavern wall, attempting to flank the dragon and close the distance. You end your move 10 feet away from the edge of the treasure hoard, where Venomfang is coiled. Round 2, Young Green Dragon's turn, Initiative 12. Venomfang, HP 76, 136, is now seriously injured, bloodied, and seeing you close the gap, it panics slightly, turning its attention from the Pit Fiend to you. Action, multi-attack. Venomfang uses 2 of its attacks on you, the closer and now more immediate threat. Attack 1, Bite versus Sir Randall. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 7 equals 14, d20 roll of 7 plus 7 attack bonus. Your AC, 24. Result, miss. The animated shield whirls and deflects the massive maw. Attack 2, Claw versus Sir Randall. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 7 equals 19, d20 roll of 12 plus 7 attack bonus. Your AC, 24. Result, miss. The claw scratches harmlessly against your plate armor. Movement. The dragon adjusts its coil on the hoard, putting Lyra in a slightly better protected position behind its body. Round 2, Archmage Lyra's turn, Initiative 10. Lyra, HP 4382, screams something muffled behind the hoard, clearly still furious at the poison damage. She steps out from behind the dragon, sees you in range, and channels a counter-offensive. Action, spellcasting. Lyra unleashes a full barrage of magic missile at you, Sir Randall. She casts this at 5th level, launching 7 darts, 1st level spell, plus 4 extra darts from higher level slots. Magic Missile versus Sir Randall. Magic Missile damage. Each dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage. Damage roll, 7 darts. 7d4 plus 7 equals 23 force damage. 7d4 roll of 16 plus 7. Lyra's attack hits automatically, bypassing your high AC. You take 23 force damage. Movement. Lyra retreats back behind the dragon. End of round 2. You took 23 force damage this round, bringing your current HP to 88,146. You are standing 10 feet from the dragon and the Archmage. Round 3 begins. What is your next command? You are correct, Sir Randall. My deepest apologies for the error in calculation. You spotted the flaw immediately. The original AC calculation of 24 was incorrect. It should never have included a double count for the shield's passive bonus. Base AC, plate, shield, defense, etc. 22. Shield of Faith concentration ended, plus 0 AC. Animated shield, active. The shield's inherent bonus is already included in the base AC 22, so it adds 0 AC. Your corrected armor class is indeed 22. You have successfully maintained divine favor through the concentration check. Round 3. Pit Fiend's turn, Initiative 25. The Pit Fiend, HP 287, is fresh, having only taken a dodge action last round. The Pit Fiend is focused and ready to unleash its immense power on the enemy. Target 1, wounded, Archmage Lyra, HP 4382. Target 2, bloodied, Young Green Dragon, HP 76, 136. The Pit Fiend can make 3 attacks, multi-attack, still lacking the movement to reach either target for melee attacks. It chooses to target the wounded Archmage Lyra to remove her from the fight. Attack 1, Hurl Flame, ranged, versus Lyra. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 23, d20 roll of 13 plus 10 attack bonus. Archmage AC, 1-5, with mage armor. Result, hit. Damage roll, 66 fire, equals 23 fire damage, 66 roll of 23. Attack 2, Hurl Flame, ranged, versus Lyra. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 22, d20 roll of 12 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 66 fire, equals 24 fire damage, 66 roll of 24. Attack 3, Hurl Flame, ranged, versus Lyra. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 10 equals 19, d20 roll of 9 plus 10 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 66 fire, equals 22 fire damage, 66 roll of 22. The barrage of hellfire hits Lyra with terrifying accuracy, 23 plus 24 plus 22 equals 69 fire damage. Lyra screams in agony as the infernal fire engulfs her. Having already taken 39 damage from the dragon's breath, this final assault completely incinerates the Archmage. Lyra Silvertongue is slain. Round 3. Sir Randall's turn. Initiative 18. You stand 10 feet from the young green dragon, Venomfang, HP 76, 136. Your divine favor is active, and the only remaining enemy is the dragon. What is your command, Sir Randall? This is your end. You roar, your voice still booming through the cavern. You take advantage of the slight pause in the dragon's actions, calling on your internal strength. Bonus action, you activate Second Wind. Healing roll. 1d10 plus 12 equals 17. d10 roll of 5 plus 12. You regain 17 hit points, bringing your current HP to 105, 146. I'll put these arrows in your skull, you declare, drawing back on your vicious longbow. Round 3, Sir Randall's attacks. You unleash a torrent of attacks on the young green dragon, Venomfang, concentrating on your divine favor to augment every shot. You have 3 attacks, plus action surge if necessary. The dragon is 10 feet away. Attack 1, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 20, d20 roll of 8 plus 12 attack bonus. Venomfang AC 18. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing, plus 5 DEX mod, plus 2d6 vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 17 piercing / radiant damage. d8 roll of 4, plus 5, plus 2d6 roll of 6, plus d4 roll of 2. Attack 2, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 24, d20 roll of 12 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing, plus 5 DEX mod, plus 2d6 vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 18 piercing / radiant damage. d8 roll of 5, plus 5 plus 2d6 roll of 7 plus d4 roll of 1. Attack 3, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 21, d20 roll of 9 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing, plus 5 DEX mod, plus 2d6 vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 15 piercing radiant damage. d8 roll of 2 plus 5 plus 2d6 roll of 7 plus d4 roll of 1. The arrows strike the young green dragon, HP 76, 136, with deadly precision, dealing an immediate total of 50 damage, 17 plus 18 plus 15. Venomfang screeches. Its health is now critically low, HP 26, 136. The dragon is severely wounded and reeling, but remains airborne above the horde, alive. And if you live after my attacks, I will use Action Surge and attack you again. Action Surge. You immediately use Action Surge to take the attack action again, granting you 3 additional attacks. Attack 4, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 25, d20 roll of 13 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing plus 5, DEX mod, plus 2d6 vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 17 piercing, radiant damage. d8 roll of 5, plus 5 plus 2d6, roll of 5 plus d4 roll of 2. Attack 5, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 27, d20 roll of 15 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing plus 5, DEX mod, plus 2d6 vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 19 piercing, radiant damage. d8 roll of 6 plus 5, plus 2d6 roll of 6, plus d4 roll of 2. Attack 6, Vicious Longbow versus Venomfang. Attack roll, 1d20 plus 12 equals 18, d20 roll of 6 plus 12 attack bonus. Result, hit. Damage roll, 1d8 piercing, plus 5, DEX mod, plus 2d6, vicious, plus 1d4 divine favor, equals 16 piercing, radiant damage. d8 roll of 4, plus 5, plus 2d6, roll of 6, plus d4 roll of 1. The second volley hits the dragon, dealing an additional 52 damage, 17 plus 19 plus 16. The total damage dealt in this round is 102. Venomfang had 76 HP remaining and took 102 damage. The young green dragon is utterly slain. Its massive form crashes heavily onto the hoard of treasure, scattering coins, jewelry, and Lyra's incinerated remains. The cavern is silent, save for the dripping water and the clatter of falling gold. Final victory. The danger is neutralized. The lair is yours, Sir Randall. The Pit Fiend sends a final, low telepathic message. Asterisk, threats neutralized, Master. The task is complete. You stand triumphant in the heart of the lair, the protector of Phandalin having secured the Sword Coast from a nascent dragon plague and gained a magnificent hoard. What is your final command, Sir Randall? Remove the dragon's head, devil. We bring it back to the town, so they might mount it in the inn, as proof of my victory over Venomfang's deceit. The Pit Fiend, its eyes glowing with grim satisfaction, steps onto the treasure hoard. It wields its massive fiery mace as a tool, quickly severing the head of the young green dragon. The heavy head, scaled and reptilian, is ready for its triumphant, if macabre, journey back to Phandalin. Time for me to investigate for loot from the dragon and the mage. I'll take as much as I can into my handy haversack. You turn your attention to the massive pile of treasure, ignoring the Pit Fiend's work for a moment. The spoils of victory? You step onto the dragon's hoard, navigating the vast pile of gold, silver, art objects, and magical trinkets that Venomfang and Lyra collected. Your search begins immediately. Loot investigation. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's intelligence investigation. Check to thoroughly search the area and the remains of the Archmage. Modifier +6. Roll 1d20 + 6 = 25. d20 roll of 19 + 6 modifier. Narrative. Your diligent search yields substantial rewards. Your sharp focus not only locates significant treasure, but recovers most of Lyra's valuable gear, which was protected by magic even as the Archmage was incinerated. The hoard. Treasure. You quickly fill your handy haversack with the most valuable and easily transported items. Gold pieces. An impressive haul of 2,500 GP in mixed coin, gemstones and jewelry. An assortment of small, high-quality emeralds, sapphires and rubies worth 1,800 GP total. 2. Lyra's items, magic gear. Recovered from the scattered remnants of the Archmage. Silver loot. This is a finely crafted instrument, recognized instantly as a loot +1 magic item. Spellbook. Lyra's intricate leather-bound spellbook containing an array of high-level spells. Scrolls. 2 rare, potent scrolls. Scroll of Planar Binding and Scroll of Teleport. The Planar Binding scroll is exactly what you needed to command the Pit Fiend. You transfer the massive dragon head to the Pit Fiend. The Fiend hovers, gripping the head in its talons, and awaits your next instruction. Final perimeter sweep. Then I will return to outside the tower and perceive to make sure there are no other threats. You climb back up the vertical shaft, leaving the subterranean cavern behind. You emerge into the ruined tower, U7, followed by the Pit Fiend bearing the dragon's head. You step outside, taking position where the goblin fight occurred, performing one final, wide sweep of the immediate area. DM voice. Rolling for Sir Randall's wisdom. Perception. Check. Modifier +8. Roll. 1d20 + 8 = 24. d20 roll of 16 + 8 modifier. Narrative. Your highly effective perception confirms the quiet. The immediate environs of the ruined tower and the surrounding areas of U1 are devoid of life. The earlier noise of combat drove away all but the smallest, most terrified creatures. The air is still, and the shadows are empty. You confirm that the path back to your retainers is safe. The threat is vanquished, the truth is confirmed, the loot is secured, and the proof of victory is in the Pit Fiend's claws. Your successful pilgrimage continues. Would you like to proceed back to your retainers, Percival Dunn, Edda Flintlock, and Milo Reedleaf, at the edge of the ruins? So there were no dragon eggs? It was all a trick to lure us here, you observe, your booming voice echoing once more in the cavern. They must be hearing of the great Sir Randall and wanted to test my might. Devil, let us head back to my retainers. The Pit Fiend grips the dragon's head firmly in its massive talons and begins to ascend the sheer stone shaft, its movement fluid and silent despite the burden. You secure your vicious longbow and climb out of the lair after him. You are soon back among the scattered ruins of Thundertree, where you quickly make your way toward the edge of the woods where you left your retinue. Reunion with retainers. As you break through the tree line, you see your 3 loyal retainers waiting patiently, the horses saddled and ready. Milo Reedleaf spots the immense severed dragon head first and lets out a shriek of pure, thrilled disbelief. Edda Flintlock drops the water skin she was holding, staring wide-eyed. Percival Dunn, however, simply straightens his posture further, ready to greet his master. "Sir Randall," Percival exclaims, bowing slightly. "You return victorious, and... Ah, that is quite the trophy. I trust the business was concluded?" You mount your horse, ready to leave the dreadful ruins behind and ride back to Phandalin, and we will tell of what happens to them on the way back to town. To speak with the town leadership, I have much to say. The chronicle begins. As you begin your swift journey back to Phandalin, the sight of the Pit Fiend flying guard with the dragon's head inspires awe and immediate fear in the sparse travelers you encounter. You have Edda, Milo, and Percival's undivided attention. You speak, and Percival begins transcribing every word with hurried diligence, knowing this deed will secure your legacy. The deception of Venomfang and his sorceress ally is concluded. The immediate threat to Phandalin is eliminated, you state. Now we must focus on the task ahead. Percival, I have acquired the necessary means to secure the Pit Fiend indefinitely. We must act quickly. You instruct them on the Scroll of Planar Binding you recovered, explaining its purpose. You tell them about the immense treasure hoard and Lyra's true identity as a powerful Archmage. Townmaster Wester must be informed immediately that Venomfang is vanquished, but the lure of the massive hoard must be protected. I need the cooperation of the local leadership to handle the treasure and to secure the spell scroll's power. Next steps. You and your retainers ride toward Phandalin with the Pit Fiend and the dragon's head in tow, prepared to speak with the Townmaster. Would you like to speak to Townmaster Harbin Wester in private, or make a public display of the dragon's head before reporting the details? Less than H2 greater than the plan for the hoard, and the binding less than H2 greater than. Townmaster Harbin Wester, still flustered but now hanging on to your every word, listens intently. Percival stands ready to record the logistics. I have another plan, Townmaster, and my dear retainers, you state firmly. Harbin, the mission was successful, far more successful than I expected. The dragon had a hoard. You declare your intentions for Phandalin. I think by right it should go to the town to see it prosper so that in time more trade could come here and my missions from this town can be more well funded and supplied with magical items. You lay out the steps for the Townmaster. Here's what we will do. Grab 2 of your best guards with a carriage and some trusted townsfolk, as the dragon had a hoard. You will need it, as we will return back to Thundertree, and I think you should instruct your guard and the folks you choose to clear out the rest of the dragon hoard for the good of the town. I will ride with you, and so will my retainers. On the way, I will explain you the deceit of Venomfang and the Bard. You conclude with the critical matter of the Fiend. The devil will accompany us. While you clear out the hoard, I, with the aid of my retainers, will try to bind the devil once more myself in a separate area. If the binding does not work, then I will have to kill the devil myself so that its wrath does not come to the town. You finish with a direct question. Do you understand this plan, Harbin? Harbin Wester swallows hard, his eyes darting between you and the massive green head outside. Understood, Sir Randall. A hoard. For Phandalin. This is unprecedented good fortune. And yes, sir, I understand the inherent risks of your escort. He nods, resolute in his new task. I will have 2 of the finest, most stout-hearted guards, the town cart, and 2 trustworthy citizens ready within the hour. We shall recover the town's treasure. We trust your counsel, sir, in this dire matter of the Fiend. Percival Dunn gives a slow, approving nod, having finished scribing the plan. A sound course of action, Sir Randall. It minimizes risk to the populace, while maximizing the benefit to your legacy and the town's coffers. We shall assist in every measure of the binding attempt. Edda Flintlock simply grunts. Good. Let's get the ugly thing secured before it starts thinking for itself. The plan is set. You are returning to the ruins of Thundertree with Townmaster Harbin Wester for the hoard recovery and the crucial rebinding of the Pit Fiend. Would you like to speak with Edda, Percival, or Milo before the carriage is ready, or should we fast forward to the journey back to Thundertree? Townmaster Harbin Wester nearly jumps at the sound of your voice, recovering his composure as he eyes the space around the vertical Pit Fiend-sized shadow you cast. Sir Randall, welcome back. Please take this chair, it is the stoutest we have. He motions for you to sit. Percival Dunn stands ready with his parchment. Yes, the caster. Harbin leans forward earnestly. After you departed, I immediately sent a runner to Neverwinter with instructions and every coin the treasury and the grateful citizenry could spare. We sought someone who could cast a spell of binding as you requested. He shakes his head, Clearly disappointed, the runner returned just hours ago. No high-level caster was willing to travel to Phandalin on such short notice, even with the reward. Travel along the Sword Coast is dangerous, and apparently, tales of a pit fiend in Phandalin are even more dissuasive than goblin raids. We have the funds, sir, but not the wizard. Harbin brightens slightly, seeing the scroll case tucked into your gear. But you say you obtained the scroll. Excellent. That is a major hurdle. Percival speaks up, tapping his quill thoughtfully. A setback, Sir Randall, but not a defeat. We must now proceed with Plan B, securing immediate transport to a city where such casters are readily available, perhaps Neverwinter or Waterdeep. The binding ritual is time-sensitive. Indeed, Harbin agrees, nodding furiously. We can hire a swift coach and a guard detail to take you, and, well, your escort to the nearest city with a suitable temple or magic academy. Choose your next action, Sir Randall. You have the Scroll of Planar Binding, but need a powerful caster and quick transport. You must also decide whether to delay the urgent matter of the Pit Fiend to inform the town of their newfound dragon treasure. What is your immediate priority? 1. Transport and binding. Focus on immediately arranging a coach to carry the Pit Fiend, the Dragonhead, and yourself to a major city to perform the binding ritual. 2. Hoard and security. Inform the town master about the enormous treasure hoard in the lair and deploy local guards to secure the vertical shaft immediately. 3. The deception. Reveal Lyra's deception, explaining that the eggs were a lure and that she was a powerful Archmage ally of Venomfang. The arrangements are made with impressive haste. Within the hour, Townmaster Harbin Wester, slightly green around the gills but resolute, climbs into a sturdy, covered carriage. 2 stout guards from Phandalin's meagre watch follow, alongside 2 trusted townsfolk carrying bags and shovels. The severed dragon head is secured in the open bed of the town cart behind the carriage. You mount your horse, your sunblade now safely sheathed, concentrating on the task of holding the Pit Fiend's immense will. The fiend flies dutifully overhead as your dark, unconventional procession departs Phandalin and heads back towards the gloomy depths of Thundertree. Explaining the deception. As you ride, you fulfill your promise to Harbin Wester, recounting the encounter with the Archmage Lyra and the true danger that lay beneath the ruined tower. The so-called clutch of dragon eggs was nothing but a cunning lure, Harbin, you explain over the rattling of the carriage wheels. It was pure fabrication, designed to draw in high-level heroes, those wealthy enough and strong enough to challenge the dragon, but not quite strong enough to survive the ambush. The bard, Lyra, was no bard at all, but a powerful archmage, Venomfang's collaborator, who intended to loot the corpses of any foolish enough to believe the tale. Harbin grips the side of the carriage, his eyes wide. By the 9. The sheer wickedness of it. They were treating the lives of adventurers as mere bait. Precisely, you confirm. They misjudged our might, and the Archmage paid the ultimate price when the Pit Fiend turned its fire upon her. This is why we must clear the hoard now. Leaving that wealth to rot or allowing others to be lured here is irresponsible. Arriving at the lair, the journey is long but safe. You soon arrive at the outskirts of the ruins of Thundertree. The guards are understandably nervous when they see the Pit Fiend glide to a stop near the ominous tower ruins, U7, dropping the now decomposing dragonhead next to the entrance shaft. The task is divided. Harbin and his detail begin the dangerous, meticulous work of descending into the tower shaft and recovering the substantial hoard, while you withdraw to a small, secluded copse of trees to prepare for the critical, time-consuming task ahead. The rebinding ritual. You dismount and retrieve the scroll from your handy haversack. The Pit Fiend stands motionless, awaiting its fate, its true malice barely concealed beneath the bonds of the failed planar binding spell. You explain the procedure to your retainers, who are gathered around you. The original binding spell has little time left, you explain. We must cast the new spell, Planar Binding, to extend its servitude for many more months. But the Pit Fiend is a powerful creature of immense will. The spell requires 10 hours of undisturbed chanting, and even with the scroll, I must succeed on an intelligence saving throw against its formidable magic to secure the binding. The challenge: to cast Planar Binding, using the scroll successfully, you must concentrate for 10 hours and succeed on a difficult intelligence saving throw at the end of the casting. Your current intelligence modifier is +1. Percival Dunn immediately steps forward. We shall guard you, Sir Randall, without fail. Not a twig will snap, nor a creature dare to approach this circle. Your honor and our town's safety depend on it. Edda Flintlock draws her hand axe. 10 hours? That's a long watch. But it's done. I'll watch the boundaries for anything that moves, Milo Reedleaf looks pale but determined. "I'll keep silent, sir. I promise." I'll watch the demon for any sign of trickery." You settle down among the roots and debris, placing the scroll before you. Your vigil begins. You have begun the 10-hour casting of Planar Binding. What will you command your retainers, Percival and Edda, to do during their long watch? My task for you, my retainers, is one of simplicity. Recount my adventures this day on paper. You command, handing a roll of fresh parchment and a bottle of ink to Percival. Give me a detailed account of my adventures today, so I might hand it out to others to know of Sir Randall's deeds this day. Do not forget to include your parts in the story and the devil and the good townsfolk. Their stories are as much a part of mine. Do you understand? Your 3 retainers settle in, eager to begin their chronicle, which you instruct them to complete while you focus on the vital, 10-hour task of maintaining the Pit Fiend's enslavement. They spend the long hours of the ritual in whispered consultation, combining Percival's adherence to chronology, Edda's grim focus on combat facts, and Milo's flair for dramatic narrative. Finally, as the last grains of sand fall through the hourglass and the climax of the ritual approaches, Percival Dunn clears his throat and presents the completed document. The Phandalin Chronicle, the defeat of Venomfang, and the binding of the Pit Fiend. A record of valor and virtue, chronicled on the 13th day of Sir Randall Gillian's pilgrimage. The whispers of deceit. The day began in the Stonehill Inn of Phandalin, where a false oracle, the Archmage Lyra Silvertongue, attempted to sow discord. She spun a treacherous yarn of a dragon, Venomfang, possessing dragon eggs, a clear deception intended to lure heroes to their doom. Upon hearing the dreadful tidings, Townmaster Harbin Wester appealed to our master, Sir Randall Gillian, protector of Phandalin. Sir Randall immediately identified the bard's boast as a falsehood, a trickery afoot, and, displaying his keen insight, an intelligence check of 22, compelled the illusion to vanish. Before departing for the ruins of Thundertree, Sir Randall made a courageous and necessary appeal to the townsfolk. To secure the powerful magic needed to maintain the binding on the Pit Fiend, a monster Sir Randall already holds in servitude. This deed was necessary for the safety of Phandalin, and the townsfolk, trusting in their protector's honor, dedicated all the wealth of the town treasury and its merchants to the quest for a scroll, proving their virtuous faith in their champion. Persuasion check of 29. 2. The Scourge of the Sword Coast. Sir Randall rode forth with great haste. Our attendant, Edda Flintlock, secured the mounts, while Milo Reedleaf, the messenger, cheered his master's valor. Our majordomo, Percival Dunn, affirmed the necessity of the mission. Upon reaching Thundertree, Sir Randall wisely unbound his retained Pit Fiend, commanding it to aid him to the best of its abilities, thus restoring its full, terrible power for the ensuing combat. Ambush and counter-assault. 1. Lizardfolk ambush. U1. 3 foul lizardfolk sought to ambush our master near the ruins. In a blur of movement, Initiative 18, Sir Randall closed the distance. The Sunblade, fueled by divine grace, carved through the first 2 foes, leaving them consumed by radiant fire. The Pit Fiend, demonstrating perfect obedience, immediately incinerated the final lizardfolk with hellfire, concluding the skirmish swiftly and ensuring Sir Randall's protection. Combat concluded round 1. 2. The Festering Guard, U7. Next, Sir Randall investigated a large fetid beast shape and correctly deduced it to be 2 awakened trees guarding the subterranean lair entrance. He commanded the Pit Fiend to unleash the very same fireball magic that struck our master in his old adventures, turning past injury into present power. The subsequent blows of Sir Randall's Sunblade reduced the 2 burning plant creatures to ash. Combat concluded round 2. Discovery of the lair. Sir Randall's keen intellect, investigation check of 23, revealed that the monsters were guarding a vertical shaft, the true entrance to Venomfang's lair, proving the dragon had made a permanent underground residence beneath the ruined wizard's tower. 3. The final challenge and triumphant binding. Following the trail deeper, Sir Randall found the lair and confronted the vile pair. The young green dragon, Venomfang, coiled upon his hoard, and the powerful Archmage Lyra. In a moment of heroic defiance, Sir Randall scorned the dragon's strength, stating he had hoped for legendary difficulty. He prepared to end the battle swiftly, augmenting his power with divine favor and healing his wounds with second wind. The battle's turning point. The Devil's Choice, the Pit Fiend, acting under the service of its master, ignored the powerful dragon to focus its entire 3-attack salvo of hurl flame upon the Archmage. Lyra, already wounded by friendly fire, was utterly incinerated by the torrent of hellfire, removing the greater magical threat from the field. Round 3. The Dragon's End. Sir Randall unleashed the righteous fury of his vicious longbow. A barrage of 6 piercing shots, augmented by radiant grace and martial technique, action surge, put the remaining wounded dragon to death. IV. The Horde and the Future. Victorious, Sir Randall ordered the Pit Fiend to decapitate the beast, securing the dragon's head as proof of the deed. A meticulous search, investigation check of 25, yielded Lyra's coveted Scroll of Planar Binding, guaranteeing the extended servitude of the Pit Fiend. The plunder was rich: 2,500 GP, 1,800 GP in gems, a loot +1, and a formidable spellbook. While Townmaster Wester's recovery team began recovering the extensive hoard for the benefit of Phandalin, Sir Randall began the long ritual. This chronicle was completed during the 10 hours of casting, under the absolute protection of Percival and Edda, allowing Sir Randall to achieve final mastery over his fiendish servant. Percival done, Major Domo. This account is logically sound and adheres to the chronology of the events. The terminology is precise. Edda Flintlock, attendant. It's accurate. Lots of loud noises and fire. Good to know the big ugly thing is still tied down. Milo Reedleaf, messenger. Oh, it's a grand story. The screeching dragon, the exploding mage, the devil being ordered around. This will make Phandalin famous. Would you like to approve the chronicle, Sir Randall, or request any additions or corrections? Haha, great work. I approve. You take the scroll, and then address your retainers with the utmost gravity, your face illuminated by the Pit Fiend's sullen glow. Now you lot stand back. You order. If I fail this save to hold the devil, I will use Indomitable times Meves. If it still resists my commands, then we will fight till the end. Watch and chronicle from a safe distance. ****. Percival, Edda, and Milo nod, understanding the extreme danger of this moment. They immediately retreat approximately 60 feet, huddling behind a large fallen section of the ruins where they can observe the ritual's climax. DM voice. You unroll the Scroll of Planar Binding, its intricate magical script glowing faintly in the dim cavern light. After 10 uninterrupted hours of chanting the complex ritual, the final moment of confrontation arrives. The energy of the spell forces the Pit Fiend to make a contested charisma check against your own formidable will. The Pit Fiend has been weakened, but its infernal will is immense. Final binding attempt. Contestant. Check/save. Modifier. Sir Randall Gillian. Charisma save, +6. Pit Fiend. Charisma save, +12. DM voice. Rolling the final contested save. Pit Fiend's charisma save, DC 17, 1d20 +12, equals 15, d20 roll of 3 +12 modifier. Sir Randall's charisma save, DC 15, 1d20 +6 equals 8, d20 roll of 2 +6 modifier. Failure and Indomitable. The Pit Fiend's will is immense, and its save of 15 beats your roll of 8. The Pit Fiend lets out a silent, triumphant mental roar. The magic flickers, threatening to break. You immediately activate Indomitable. You grit your teeth and call upon your fighter feature, forcing a reroll of your failed save. Sir Randall's Indomitable reroll. 1d20 +6 equals 23, d20 roll of 17 +6 modifier. Success! Your reroll of 23 shatters the Pit Fiend's brief moment of freedom. The demon's mental roar cuts off, replaced by a sound of grating, psychic clanging as the spell's command snaps back into place. The energy of the Planar Binding Scroll settles around the Pit Fiend, its golden light solidifying the new bonds. The Pit Fiend is now bound to your service for a period of 180 days, 6 months, following the rules of the Planar Binding spell. The result: the Pit Fiend lowers its head slightly, its massive shoulders slumped in utter defeat. It addresses you telepathically, its voice dripping with loathing. Your luck is great, Master. My hatred is greater. The binding holds. What is your command? The Fiend is secured. The threat to Phandalin is delayed, and your most potent retainer is yours for half a year. What is your final command, Sir Randall? Ha ha ha! The exquisite Pit Fiend. The Archmage's magic worked better than I even expected. You boom, clutching the Pit Fiend's chains as the scroll crumbles in your hand, its service now secured for months. You meet the demon's hateful glare with unwavering certainty. Devil, you no longer work for the Hand of Bane, but the Light of Saloon. Your task is simple. Protect the town of Phandalin, following Harbin Wester's commands. Watch it prosper with the funds from the dragon's hoard. You turn to your loyal retinue, a sense of grand adventure settling over you. My retainers, we venture back across the sea to return to our homeland to report my deeds in person. The journey might be tough. There are rumors of undead ships, all types of strong sea monsters about this time of year, but it is a journey we must take. I need new gear and more strength. We will return to Harbin Wester after our 2-month journey to see how the town has changed. You pause, leaning close to the fiend, demanding its final, crucial secret. My last command, devil, till I return, what is your true name? The Pit Fiend's true name. The Pit Fiend, bound by the strength of your will and the Scroll of Planar Binding, has no choice but to comply. Its massive jaw strains against the magical constraint, and a sound like grinding tectonic plates erupts in your mind, audible only to you. My name is a tool of my former master. Now it is yours. I am called Malphas. And this name gives you power over me, Sir Randall Gillian, until the binding breaks. The journey home. With the Pit Fiend now named and utterly subjugated, you lead the party, including a relieved Harbin Wester, out of the ruins. You hand the Pit Fiend's controls over to the Townmaster, who has been equipped with the Pit Fiend's true name, the essence of the binding, and the explicit command to protect the town. The dragon's head is delivered to the Townmaster for its inevitable mounting in the inn. Your 3 retainers retrieve the carriage and horses, securing the gold and magical items in your handy haversack. The task is done. The town of Phandalin now has the funds to secure the necessary casters and materials to ensure your Pit Fiend, Malphas, remains bound until your heroic return. End of adventure, the Scourge of Venomfang. Your immediate task now is to prepare for the long, 2-month journey across the sea to report your deeds in person, procure powerful new gear, and ultimately return to Phandalin a greater hero still. What is the very next thing you wish to do to prepare for your voyage, Sir Randall? This was a truly epic chapter in Sir Randall's pilgrimage. Thank you for the grand adventure. Here is the epilogue, chronicling the 2 months of change in Phandalin, while Sir Randall and his retainers were away across the sea. Epilogue: The 2 months of the Pit Fiend. The tale of Sir Randall Gillian, the protector of Phandalin, and his return with the head of Venomfang carried by the chained demon Malphas, became the bedrock of Phandalin's golden age. The transformation of Phandalin. The immediate effect of your deed was unprecedented. Malphas, the Pit Fiend, became the most potent and terrifying guard the Sword Coast had ever known. Following your command to protect the town and obey Harbin Wester, the demon stood sentinel near the Townmaster's hall, its sheer presence warding off every bandit, monster, and opportunistic rogue in the region. Crime dropped to 0. More profound was the infusion of wealth. Harbin Wester, driven by an uncharacteristic mix of fear and prosperity, proved surprisingly capable. The recovery teams successfully brought the entirety of Venomfang's horde back to town, an unimaginable fortune for a small settlement. Infrastructure: Harbin used the gold and gems to repair the dilapidated structures left from the Red Brand occupation and the Goblin Wars. Ruined walls were shored up, new stone foundations were laid, and the muddy streets were paved with crushed stone. The Knight's Legacy, the Townmaster's Hall, was immediately expanded into a proper municipal building. The Stonehill Inn underwent a major renovation. A vast new stone hearth was constructed, and above it, the severed, preserved head of Venomfang was mounted as the central fixture, flanked by the remnants of the Pit Fiend's chains. Trade: word of Phandalin's incredible security, guaranteed by a Pit Fiend, no less, spread like wildfire. Merchants and artisans who previously bypassed the town now flocked to it, establishing permanent shops and paying higher taxes. Phandalin became a recognized hub, attracting trade that bypassed even larger settlements. The hero's return. 2 months pass as Sir Randall travels, reports his deeds, studies the magical nature of his powerful new items, and prepares for the next stage of his quest. Your ship docks far up the coast, and you and your 3 retainers, Percival, Edda, and Milo, travel south along the now safe roads. The changes begin subtly. The roads leading into Phandalin are noticeably well maintained, and the small settlements you pass are fortified with new, respectable stone walls. As you crest the final hill and look down upon the thriving settlement, the first thing that greets your eye is an astonishing testament to your power and legacy. You look down upon Phandalin and see that the formerly modest Townmaster's Hall has been rebuilt into a stout 2-story stone structure with an impressive newly carved Gillian family crest mounted proudly over its front door. But it is the square itself that draws your eye. Standing motionless next to the newly constructed town well, towering over the milling crowd, is the formidable form of Malphas, the Pit Fiend. The great demon, utterly subdued and radiating potent dark energy, holds not a weapon, but a newly commissioned banner of Phandalin, a stylized image of the Moon Maiden's saloon. The citizens treat the fiend as a peculiar permanent fixture of the landscape, occasionally leaving offerings of wine or coin at the base of the pillar he guards. The first thing Sir Randall sees is his own new legacy,